In the 80s with a humidity in the 60% range. It's warm on the field. This is polyturf. Unlike that which we have at Rich Stadium, AstroTurf. And there's one other variety called tartan turf. This is the one they've been having a great deal of problem with. It's been replaced once. One other thing to remind the folks about before the invocation here, we have a delay before the start of the game, is that we're high above the Orange Bowl. I don't want to tell you how high we are, but the last jet that flew by, the pilot had to look up to wave to us. And it is also a little known fact, but we'll pass it on anyway, that the Dolphins wear white jerseys at home for 1 o'clock games, and their green jerseys for the 4 o'clock games and the night game.
That's a no-no. You don't call them green. Aquamarine.
Aquamarine.
Be very careful about that.
Sorry about that. The invocation will be given by Archbishop Coleman Carroll, the Archbishop of the Diocese of Miami. They're now promoting the Monday night, New Year's night, ball game between Notre Dame and Alabama. And by the way, the Crimson Tide played here last night against the University of Miami and beat them 28-7.
And Notre Dame won, beating Pitt.
And by the way, WKBW Radio and the rest of the stations on the Buffalo Bills Football Network would like to welcome the 350 radio stations along the American Forces Radio Network. Our broadcast today being heard around the world by over 3 million servicemen and women who are receiving the game by shortwave cable and by satellite. And now, ladies and gentlemen, first the invocation by Archbishop Coleman Carroll. field. I assume now we'll have, a pledge allegiance to the flag, which we just had the national anthem, or are they just coming over the side of the field? All right, the captains are going out for the ceremony. As we have indicated, the Bills, a half hour before game time, the flip takes place when the Bills did win, and will defend the goal to the left. And 80,000 are here. I don't see too many empty seats. And the Bills now coming out into the field to receive the football. And the main thing to watch early is who's going to be playing. I think that's about as important as anything else. Never mind who got introduced. Sometimes that's just for effect. It's the guys that are going to be in there when the first play from scrimmage starts.
Al, I've got to believe that New Saban might do a little more substituting today, not only because of the injury factor, but because it is hot down here. It's about 90, 95 degrees down in the field. It's going to take its toll probably in the third, fourth quarter, so he might be a little more liberal in his substitution. We might see Bob Chandler in there a lot more in the chip formation, or else Bobby would be substituting for Ahmad Rashad or J.D. Hill.
Kickoff return leader is Wallace Francis, just behind Nate Moore in fourth spot, Nate in third spot, and returning fifth. Wallace had a big one, 74-yarder, you recall. And it's Gerald Yepremian, a little old playmaker, is setting the ball now at the 35-yard line. Will be kicking from right to left, claps his hand. And we're ready to play football. Wallace Francis, a couple of yards in the end zone, and it's a high end over end. Taken on the 1-yard line to the 5, 10, Francis to the 15, the 20, and gets to the 25 and forward to about the 27-yard line before Larry Ball, who now plays behind Bob Matheson, the left linebacker, finally stopped him. He comes from the 1 to the 27, and the Bills will put it in play at that point.
Now, the two Dolphins who were instrumental in making that tackle were number 65, Molly Moore, number 33, Hubert Yen. They were knocked down by the Buffalo Bills, got up, recovered, and were instrumental in making that tackle.
And now the Bills huddle back at the 15 as they break, and they come out with J.D. Hill moving off to the left, Ahmad Rashad to the right. The backs are split, and it is Jim Braxton and O.J. Simpson behind Joe Ferguson. The tight end, Paul Seymour, to the right. From the 27, first play from scrimmage, just underway at the Orange Bowl. Ferguson with a long count. Lifts over the defense to Braxton. Off the left side, trying to turn the corner. Gets to the 30, spins to the 33-yard line. Jimmy Braxton from the 27 to the 33, and knocked down by Mike Colin. The defensive unit, Denherter, Fernandez, Hines, and Stanfield across the front. Matheson, Bonacani, and Colin, the linebackers. It's Foley and Johnson at the corners. The strong safety, Dick Anderson, and the free safety, Jake Scott.
And it is Mike Mottler playing center for the Buffalo Bills. Manny Fernandez was head-to-head with him on the last play. We'll see if he does it again on this play.
Second down and 4 to go at the 33-yard line of the Bills out of an I formation. Rashad left and Hill right. Still strong right. Braxton the up back, Simpson the running back. Ferguson to O.J. running left. Skips and is hit as he gets 1 or 2 yards at the most to the 34 by Manny Fernandez. It'll bring up third down at about 3 yards to go, maybe 2.5. But Juice trying to juke his way. Looked like he wanted to go wide left, cut inside, and gained practically nothing. Bob Matheson also helped out. They'll give him 1 yard on the play. Sounds like an awful lot, but he picked up in reality just 1 yard, so it's third and a big 3. What do you want to guess, Ed?
Well, I would say that he'd be going to Braxton on this one. Or if he's not going to go to Braxton, maybe a play-action pass off a fake to him.
The backs are strong right. As Ferguson with Mottler the center. On a 3rd and 3, takes the snap, hands off, a fumble by Braxton at the 35-yard line, and I think maybe the Bills have recovered. I don't know. Wait a minute.
Al, I think the Bills have recovered the football.
No, let me have it. It was Manny Fernandez that came off with Jim Braxton's fumble.
There was not a clean handoff on the play. The ball bounced, and it bounced off one of the defensive linemen of the Miami Dolphins, and
no, it was recovered by the Bills because Bateman just came in. It was fumbled but recovered by the Bills.
Braxton actually fell on top of the ball. He really didn't know that he had it.
Bateman is back at the 20, a single safety for the Miami Dolphins, who now drop 3 men back. There's a punt going way back to about the 20-yard line, taken by Jake Scott, running to his right, gets a block at the 25, at the 30, and a flag is down. It looks like a clip at the 30-yard
line, but it looked like a clip back at the 25-yard line where a flag was thrown. And the clip on Murph Coker made the stop, but I think, yep, that's going to be the call because that's where the flag has been dropped. It's a clip against the Miami Dolphins, and that'll set them back. Oh, probably inside the 20-yard line.
Allen,
Even further.
I'm sorry, but the guy that really made that play was number 38, Larry Watkins, coming down from the outside. Had he been knocked down, they would have been able to get around the corner, and there was a beautiful wall set up, but Watkins forced it to the inside, and he got a hand on the ball carrier.
Marv Fleming will be the tight end as they bring the team out onto the field with Paul Warfield, the wide receiver, along with Nate Moore. The backs are Greasy, Benny Malone, and Larry Zonka. So instead of having the ball at the Bill 34, the Bills did recover, and a good punt by Bateman as they come with a slot to the near side. Warfield, their strong left. Zonka, the back with Benny Malone. Bob Greasy calls the numbers. From his own 12-yard line to Zonka, running to his left, turning the corner at the 15, and takes the tackler all the way to the 18-yard line, and the tackler is Robert James.
It looked as though Zonka might have hurt his ankle on that play. He came off limping just a little bit. Bob James came up and tried to put a head tackle on him, but Zonka just kind of held on and dragged him out of bounds. They got a pretty good pickup of about 7 yards in that play. Just shows you how strong Larry Zonka is. And Bobby James, believe it or not, can punish you when he wants to.
So it's Nat Moore, the split back to the left side, along with Zonka, who's got bad feet anyway. He plays with bad feet. Greasy sets the team to Moore on a sweep to the right, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Nice tackle. Buffalo Bills stop him after a yard, and it's number 50, Jim Chiunsky, that nails him. Actually a loss on the play back to about the 18-yard line.
Now, that time the Buffalo Bills were in what they've been facing the last couple weeks. They've been in a 30 defense. They have 4 linebackers, and Cornell comes in and replaces Costa, and he's been the 4th linebacker in there. So they're playing a 30 defense for the Buffalo Bills.
Jim Mandage is in for Marv Fleming, and Jim Kick for Larry Zonka. Split backfield with a slot to the right. On a third down at about 4 yards to go, Greasy sets the team. Greasy drops straight back. We're going to have the first pass. A deep drop. He's being chased. He's being hit. He gets away. No, he doesn't. He's dragged back to the 4-yard line by Walter Patulski. Well, Patulski and Earl Edwards doing a bang-up job, but Patulski is hurt. He's got it. He's holding his knee. Now he's limping off the field. Oh, boy, would that be damaging if Patulski is not able to play. He's running all right.
Oh, I think he's all right, Rick.
He grabbed that knee pretty bad.
The guy who really put the pressure on was number 86, Dave Washington. He blew in there. Greasy couldn't find an open receiver, and then Walt Patulski put the finishing touches on. Now, all of a sudden, Seipel right underneath the goalpost.
And the Bills with Donnie Walker at about the 45. Bill Cahill at the Dolphin 40. And right at the end line, Seipel takes 2 strides and boots it. It's coming up toward midfield. Walker takes it at the Dolphin 47 to the 45 to the 40 to the 35. Hit and back out at the 31-yard line. From the 47 to the 31-yard line, a 60-yard return by Donnie Walker. And the hit made by Jim Langer.
Well, let's see what the Buffalo Bills do on offense. The Miami Dolphins defense, they like to try to string their entire defensive line and linebackers out from sideline to sideline and try to contain a guy like O.J. Simpson, and they try to protect or put up a shield in front of Nick Fonicani and let Nick Roman make all the tackles.
Well, they've called a time out of the field, and we'll be back in a moment. No score at the Orange Bowl.
Before the game, the Buffalo Bills fine cornerback Dwight Harrison was asked about the Miami Dolphins' potent offense.
Yeah, well, you know, the last time we played them, they did a pretty good job against us. They're tough because they got so many good people. A lot of times when you have one real good ball receiver like, say, Chicago does, you know, you can kind of help on him. But in Miami's case, you almost have to play head up because the tight ends and both receivers are. So it makes it tough, you know. You don't really go into a game like the Miami game expecting to shut out a receiver, do you? Well, yeah, I'd like to shut them all out, but I haven't. In this case, it would be very difficult, you know, to shut people out like that. If I do, I'm happy. I'm very happy. You know, I would know that I've had a great game, you know.
31-yard line of the Dolphins. Ferguson, play action, drops straight back, looks, throws toward the end zone. Seymour is open, but overthrows it.
Now that was an excellent call by Joe Ferguson. He sent tight end Paul Seymour down on a corner pattern. He had beaten safety Jake Scott. The Miami Dolphins had about 8 men just about up on the line of scrimmage expecting a rush. I'm sure Joe Ferguson audibilized out of it. Run would not have been a good call in that situation. He ran a play-action pass. He had Seymour open. He just overthrew him.
They had double tight ends in that case. It was Reuben Gannon there along with the tight end Paul Seymour. But now Rashad comes in, and they're going to approach that second down at 10.
I finally found Walt Patulski. He's walking up and down the sideline. Seems to be okay.
He's got a kneecap problem that keeps popping on him a little bit, but he's lived with it for a long time. Now a split backfield on a second and 10 at the 31 of the Dolphins. The sun peeking through, and now the clouds come over the Orange Bowl. Ferguson again drops straight back, has some time, throws it quick out, and it's incomplete at the 20-yard line. He intended, I believe, it was intended for Rashad. He underthrew him, or he overthrew the swing back, in this case, Jim Braxton.
Now, I think he was trying to hit number 34, Jim Braxton, coming out of the backfield. Jim hooked up under number 53, Matheson. Fergie threw the ball to him. It was wide into the outside, and Braxton had no chance whatsoever to catch the football.
So Gant comes in, and Seymour comes out. This time, Gant will be in for Seymour. It will not be both tight ends. It'll be third down and 10 at the Dolphin 31-yard line. So Ferguson twice. He had a man open in the end zone and overthrew the tight end, and here a badly thrown pass on a swing to the back.
Might be a pretty good call for a draw. They might be expecting the pass, and he could draw to O.J. on this play.
Larry Ball is in for Bob Hines in that 53 defense. A split backfield from the 31. The Bills in a passing situation. Again, Ferguson straight back, has time, throws a quick one. It's complete to Juke at the 25. Knocked down at the 23. Did not get the first down.
No, he didn't get the first down. They gave him just enough. They're playing off him because of his great speed. He just circled coming out of the backfield, hooked up underneath the linebacker. Ferguson hit him. He was wide open, but he didn't have enough for the first down. So they've got fourth and about 2, and it looks like they're going to go for the field goal.
And guess who made the tackle on O.J.? Who else but?
Nick Monicati.
Yeah, right. Wherever O.J. goes, Monicati goes. And now John Leipold will attempt a 40-yard field goal from the 30. With Bobby Chandler holding. Kicking from left to right. The wind factor? Not really. Snap. Ball down. Kick up. Block! Rolling around. Picked up for the Dolphins at the 30-yard line. It's number 13, Jake Scott. And it was blocked by number 51, Larry Ball.
Now they had all the Miami Dolphins lined up at the line of scrimmage, and they had Ball actually with a sideways charge. He came in not straight ahead, but he's kind of slithered in there sideways, got a hand up, and blocked the field goal attempt. Super play.
Well, if the field goal had been missed, it had come back pretty much the same area anyway, because it was kicked from the 30 and goes back to the 32-yard line, where it's first and 10 to go. A split backfield, Warfield to the near side. Bob Greasy with Zaka and Moore. Hands to Moore, sweeping to his right, turns the corner at the 30, gets to the 33. Oh, I'm sorry, Benny Malone is in there. Make it Benny Malone. Running, picks up a few yards. He gets maybe 2 to the 33-yard line. Hit by Neil Craig.
Now the Bills came out in their 30 defense with the 4 linebackers. They put the quarterback upside as though they were going to play man-to-man on the outside. All of a sudden, the last minute, they dropped back into his zone, and they were very successful in containing Benny Malone in that play. Now, all of a sudden, Mercury Morris in the ballgame.
Well, Mercury plays well against the Bills, as you know. Warfield comes wide to the left. Nat Moore to the right with an eye back. And a handoff to Mercury running to his right. Falls ahead over the 35 to the 36. A couple more yards, and it's Mike Kadish who made the tackle after a 3-yard gain.
Now, I've got to believe that Don Shula has been psyching Mercury Morris up for this ball game. Mercury has always enjoyed good success against the Buffalo Bills. He likes to try to overshadow O.J. Simpson. There is no love lost between the Buffalo Bills and Mercury Morris.
Malone in for Zonka, or for Morris. No, which is it? I think we got 2 new backs in there.
Zonka and Morris came out.
Zonka and Morris are out.
So kicking Malone around.
So kicking Malone to the back. And they come wide to the near side with Nat Moore, and they slot Warfield into the left side, and they spread the tight end to the right side. Back to pass, Greasy. Look, goes to the near side. Complete at the 41-42-yard line. And it's complete to number 21, Jim Chick, and it is just enough for a first down. Like Harrison on the coverage.
Now in that short yardage situation, they like to go to Jim Chick coming out of the backfield. Chick has the option of breaking it to the outside or the inside, depending on where that linebacker is playing him. Doug Allen was playing linebacker that time. Chick came out of the backfield, broke straight to the inside, broke to the outside, was wide open.
Earl Edwards just went out. What for?
Yeah, he did. He just going to have some equipment fixed, Bob, or rather, Don Falk went in for him.
Morris and Zonka the backs, but it's Zonka with a wing, a double wing to the right. He's wing right. The only back is Morris from the 44 of the Dolphins. Quick pitch, Morris running right, gets a block, taken by Washington, and finally hugged at about the 43-yard line and thrown down by Neil Craig, number 42.
Nice play by number 86, Dave Washington. Dave flew in there, preventing Morris from going to the outside. Morris just getting up, kind of had a little altercation with Washington, but they put Zonka out in the wing to use him as an extra blocker, but he did miss Washington on that play. A very good play by Dave Washington.
It's a loss of a yard on the sweep, and it's second down at 11. The ball at the Dolphin 43. And the backs, as he's changing them, he's using Kick, Morris, Malone, Zonka. We haven't seen Ginner Nottingham yet. But he's using all of his running backs. So he's got Benny Malone and Larry Zonka split behind him at the 43, and he's back to pass. Greasy has time. Look, goes a quick out. It is knocked down at the field 42-yard line. It's intended for Paul Warfield, but Ike Harrison stepped in front of him and knocked the ball down.
Now we're seeing a lot more zone defense by the Buffalo Bills. That time, Paul Warfield running it deep out. He had number 30, Bo Cornell, the outside linebacker, dropping back there in his zone responsibility, and he had Dwight Harrison coming up at the last minute, going for the interception. Didn't get it, but he knocked the ball down. Nice play by Ike Harrison.
Edwards out. Dave Means, Kadish, and Butowski are that 3-4 or the 30 defense right now is kicking Malone to the backs on what turns out to be a third down and 11 from the Dolphin 43. There's no score. 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Bills are running double coverage. Deep drop now by Greasy. Greasy has time. Now he's being chased. He gets away from one tackler at the 30, at the 35. He's still being chased. And he's back down at the 43-yard line on an ankle tackle by Mike Kadish.
Oh, Dave Means.
Oh, is it Dave Means? Yep, okay.
Rick, and now that's what happens when you have all those defensive men in the secondary. Greasy could not find an open receiver. The Bills in that 30 defense double covering the outside men. They kept the tight end in the block that time. Kadish put a lot of pressure on him. Greasy had to roll out of the pocket, and it was finally Means who came over and put the finishing touches on it. He just could not find an open receiver.
Seiple from his 30 will be kicking to Donnie Walker at the 15. 5 yards ahead of him will be Bill Cahill. No score. So the Bills have stopped the Dolphins twice, forcing the second punt. Seiple kicks one toward the near sideline. Walker fields it at the 15 and dragged down at the 18 or 19-yard line by Jarrett White. He's the rookie out of Hawaii, a defensive back. Cahill tried to give him a block, but there were two Dolphins there he could pick off, but one, and White dragged him down at the 19-yard line.
Donnie did the only thing he could do. He caught the ball in the run.
Time out of the field. No score from the Orange Bowl.
The Los Angeles Rams and the Oakland Raiders can clinch the first two playoff berths today in the National Football League's 10th weekend of play. The Rams on a 4-game lead over New Orleans in the NFC West and are 10-point favorites to deliver the final blow personally when they visit the Saints on Sunday. Oakland, which is riding an 8-game winning streak right now, is more than a 2-touchdown favorite at home over the San Diego Chargers. The Raiders lead Denver by 3.5 games in the AFC West and can clinch the title only if the Broncos lose to Kansas City on Monday night. And of course, as you know, our game, Buffalo and Miami tied for first in the AFC East. The New England Patriots are 1 game off the pace. They are at home against the New York Jets. St. Louis tries to hold its slim 1-game edge in the NFC East against the Eagles, while Minnesota can clinch at least a tie for the NFC Central Division title by beating Green Bay. In the AFC Central Division, Pittsburgh, which is a half-game lead over Cincinnati, is at Cleveland, while the Bengals are in Houston to play the Oilers.
The last time the Bills came out in their first play from offense, they run the ball. Miami Dolphins, expected the Buffalo Bills to run the ball. They had about 8 men up on the line of scrimmage. Joe Ferguson ran a play-action pass. He had Paul Seymour wide open. He just overthrew him. So I think depending on what kind of a front the Miami Dolphins put up will depend on what Joe Ferguson audibilizes at the line of scrimmage.
Both passers, 1 out of 3 so far for 8 yards, so they're dead even there.
From the 19, Ferguson splits his back, throws set, 1st and 10, moving left to right, no score, first period. Ferguson with a long count, hands off to O.J. running left, O.J. hit at the 20-yard line, gains 1. O.J. hit by Bill Stanfield.
Well, that time the Miami Dolphins stacked everybody up on the line of scrimmage, expecting a run. The Buffalo Bills ran right into their strength. Bill Stanfield, he also, he didn't have much of a gain on the play. He had about a yard gain.
Bob Hines comes out and Larry Ball comes in because it's now a passing situation. This is the 3 front linemen and 4 linebacker situation, now called the 30. And the Bills, with a 2nd down and 9 at the 20-yard line, have yet to establish anything, either a passing or a running game, have not picked up a first down. From their 20. Ferguson 0 for 2 in the passing department. Again, O.J. same play, gets 3 more yards at the most to the 23-yard line. And it's Larry Ball making the tackle.
Al and Rick, the Bills said that they were going to try to run at Bonacani. They've tried it the last 2 plays. They've been unsuccessful. Now they're facing a 3rd down situation. The last time they had a 3rd down situation, there was only like 3rd and 4, and he elected to hand off to Braxton, and Braxton fumbled the football, but he might try a play-action pass to try to hold up those linebackers and maybe throw to his tight end or one of the backs coming out of the backfield.
Rashad comes right, Hill left, back strong left, Braxton and Simpson. Seymour is the tight end to the right. We got single coverage in the wide receivers for the moment. From the 23, a blitz is on. Ferguson hands off on a draw to Braxton, running for daylight, but hemmed in back of the line of scrimmage and maybe gets to the 25. Oh, that Matheson made the hit. Almost worked, Eddie, almost.
They were just lucky to get what they got out of the play. They had a double gun blitz that time, and the Bills ran right into it, but Braxton put a pretty good move on. He got away from it, but the Bills are facing the 4th down now.
Jake Scott goes back into safety along with Dick Anderson. At about the 40-yard line of the Miami Dolphins, and Marv Bateman, the new Bills punter, at his 11. Is that Charlie Babb? That is Charlie Babb? Or Dick Anderson on the other side? Charlie Babb, Dick Anderson, and Jake Scott. Yeah, the entire student body is back to field. That's when they're midfield. So let's see what Bateman does. Takes the snap. And kicks one off the side of his foot. Not a particularly interesting kick, and it's going out of bounds in Bill territory. Where? Where are they going to spot it? Oh, they're going to spot it around the 40-yard line. No, make it the 43-yard line.
Well, all of a sudden, Rick, and now we were talking about one of Bateman's strong points, his ability to kick some great punts under pressure, and that certainly was a pressure kick, and he had a poor kick that time. And now the Bills, the Miami Dolphins have the ball within the Bills territory in the 48-yard line.
Make it the 43, and it was a 18-yard punt. And somewhere, Spike Jones is smiling. That's all I can tell you. A split backfield. Zonka and Malone. Set left. Handoff. Zonka running to his left. Zonka hit at the 42 and dragged down by Mike Kadish, who's playing a super game. To give Zonka 2 yards if you want to be kind to him, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 41 of the Bills. Mercury Morris in for Benny Malone. As Shula keeps alternating his running backs on a warm day, and he's got a lot of good ones. Benny Malone, Jim Kick, Mercury Morris, Larry Zonka, to name a few. So with now Morris, the only back, they run a double wing with Zonka set off to the right. From the Bill 41, a 2nd down and 9. Handoff Morris running to his right, puts his head down as he drives over right tackle. Inside the 40 to the 38 or 37, where Doug Allen, Walter Patowski, and Mike Kadish wrap him up. They spot it at the 37.5-yard line.
Now, the last time they ran that formation, they put Zunk out on the wing. They had Mercury Morris in there. They handed off to Mercury. He went outside. That time, he took an off tackle. I'm sure the Bills were thinking offside. They were caught off guard. Third down, about 4 yards to go for a first down. He likes to go to kick in this formation. Coming out of the backfield, I would imagine they might put kick on number 30, Bo Cornell, and give him the option of taking it either inside or outside.
The Bills playing a 30 defense, and they do have kick, and they do have a slot to the near side, which is the left side, and Warfield, and beyond him, number 89, Nat Moore. Backs are split on a 3rd and 4. Deep drop by Greek. He looks, goes a quick out, and misses kick at the 30-yard line. And I'll tell you who was fooled on that play. Number 59, Doug Allen, was nowhere near Jim Kick, and it was a badly thrown pass.
Now, as I mentioned, he has the option to take the open spot. That is not a designated play. He just goes out there, and if it's open to the inside, he'll break to the inside. If it's open to the outside, he'll break to the outside. If it's open up the middle, he'll just keep going. And it's up to Greasy to read that. That's probably why the ball wasn't on target that time.
Gero Yepremian will try a field goal from the, well, let's see, with Morrow holding at the 44. It'll be a 54-yard field goal, and he has not kicked one anywhere near that long this year. From the 44 plus 10, Yepremian. It's up, and it is going to be wide to the left and a little bit short. He just missed it, and the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage in this case, which will be the 38-yard line.
Well, we've got kind of an interesting game here, gentlemen. Just 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and we have had a total of 1 first down, I think, recorded by either club. The Dolphins have 1 first down. The Bills don't have any. There's nothing been established at all. The only way that the Dolphins have managed to gain any yardage was by the exchange of punts. They started way down their 12-yard line, held the Bills a couple of times, and then Bateman came up with a bad punt. But that's been it. We've had absolutely nothing else.
Well, the Dolphins are having a tough time running against that 30 defense. The success that they've enjoyed has been kick coming out of the backfield one-on-one against one of the Bills linebackers, specifically number 59, Doug Allen. He caught one pass. The last pass that kick threw was incomplete. So they're having problems trying to figure out how to run against that 30 defense and also how to throw against it because the Bills are dropping back using a lot more zone coverage than they have in the past. The Bills basically are a man-to-man team. They're starting to loosen up a little bit, play some more zone. They're starting to do a little more stunning with that those 3 defensive linemen also.
The Bills will put it in play at the 37-yard line, we'll call it, not the 38. As we move in the other direction, the nose of the football between the 37 and 8-yard lines, and the Bills break it with Rashad right and Hill left. An high back is Simpson behind Braxton. Formation strong right, 2:07 to go, no score, first period. Ferguson from his own 37-yard line takes the snap. Hands off to O.J. up the middle of the 40, 42 or 3 or maybe 4-yard line. O.J. with a pop up the middle, Stansfield hanging on to him. But he does go from the 38 to about the 43 where they mark it, a gain of 5 yards.
Once again, the Bills testing the middle of that defensive Miami Dolphins line. They're trying to run it on the Coney. They think he can be run out up the middle. He's very quick, very agile. If they get him moving one way, they like to try to run some counter plays. We might see that this afternoon.
We're inside 2 minutes as the clock runs in the first quarter. No score. The Bills now strong. Back step to the right. Tight end to the left. J.D. Hill is right. Rashad is left. From the 43. Second down and 5. Ferguson to Braxton. No to O.J. on a counter play. Trying to turn the corner. He does with the 45. And gets to the 48-yard line where Bona County knocked it down close to a first down.
Nice play by number 45, Curtis Johnson, the cornerback out there. He forced O.J. to cut upfield to the inside. O.J. wanted to break it around to the outside. I don't know whether that was Rashad or J.D. Hill out there, but he just couldn't get a block on Johnson.
They're going to measure. What do you guess right now before they bring the stick? I guess he made it. I guess he made it. How about you?
Okay, I'll go for that. We said that just as we did.
We got a pretty good angle out of here. I'm not sure. I'm not absolutely certain. As I said, we have a good angle, but we're kind of a fur piece away from that football up here. About a block and a half, I'd say.
Maybe I'll change my vote.
Well, take your field glasses off. No, I think he made it by about the nose of the football. It will be the Bills' first down if they do, with a minute 13 still to play in the period. Yes, the length of the football. And the Bills get their first down of the afternoon. Well, now it's a dead even game. It is. In every case, no score on the scoreboard. Each with a first down. Neither quarterback able to do too much with the passing game and the running game. And the Bills certainly have been able to get a lot of mileage out of their newfound 30 defense. And you don't think it's going to sweep the league like wildfire pretty soon after what Houston did last week and what New England has done with it.
What do you think the Miami Dolphins are in a 30 defense?
Yeah, but technically they call it their 53. But you're right, they got the 30 in there from an I formation at the Bill 48-yard line. Back to pass, Ferguson on play action over the middle, complete to Seymour at the 41-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. And he was knocked down by Dick Anderson.
Well, they had one of the middle linebackers blitzing that time. The interior of the Buffalo Bills line picked up the blitz. Ferguson had a lot of time to throw the football. Seymour, trying to run his pattern, ran into number 40, Dick Anderson, the strong safety. They were fighting just to get free. Fergie spotted Seymour in that fight. Threw the ball. Seymour made a nice catch, fought for the first down.
All right, that's the second first down because an 11-yard pass. And how does Ferguson read on the numbers so far, Rick?
Well, now he's got a couple of completions and 4 attempts for a total of 19 yards.
Bob Hines comes in and Larry Ball goes out, so they eliminate their 53 defense, which is taking out the defensive tackle and putting in an extra linebacker, or as they call it now, the 30, 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. Gets confusing, doesn't it? From the 41.5-yard line of the Dolphins, Ferguson calls signal. Ferguson to Braxton, no to O.J. on a counter play. He tries to come to the left, but gets hit at the line of scrimmage and maybe drags Fernandez for a yard to the 41-yard line.
Now, that's a tough play to run against that defense. Basically, the Miami Dolphins went out of the 30 defense where they have the 4 linebackers into an 80 defense where they took Stanfield and played them on the outside and the linebacker on the inside.
Time out of the field as we jump to the end of the first period. No score between Miami and Buffalo, and we'll pause 60 on the Buffalo Bills Football Network.
In college football on Saturday, taking a look at what took place among the top teams. College football action had no real surprises, though, with only 7th-rated Florida a loser among the top 10 teams. Top-ranked Oklahoma rolled to a 45-14 win over Kansas. Steve Davis threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another. Number 2 Alabama won its 10th straight game with a 28-7 win over Miami in the Orange Bowl. Meanwhile, 3rd-ranked Michigan gained a tie for the Big Ten championship with a 51-0 thrashing of Purdue. 4th-rated Ohio State creamed Iowa 35-10. Number 5 Notre Dame had a scare, but got by the Panthers of Pittsburgh 14-10. Cornhuskers of Nebraska, number 6, trounced Kansas State 35-7. Number 7 Auburn just managed a 17-13 win over Georgia. Southern Cal, number 8 in the country, crashed Washington 40-11. Number 9 Florida, upended by Kentucky 41-24. Texas rolled over Texas Christian 81-16.
Scores now from Rick Azar. The Jets lead the New England Patriots 7-0 in the first period. Pittsburgh over Cleveland 7-3 in the first. Detroit 7-3 over the Giants in the first, and St. Louis leads the Philadelphia Eagles 7-0 also in the first period. There was no gain on the last play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. The ball on the Dolphin 41-yard line. The Bills were able to penetrate to the 32 and a blocked field goal attempt is about as much as they've been able to do. 2nd down and 10. The ball on the 41-yard line. Backs are split behind Joe Ferguson, who is 2 for 4 in the passing game. Drops back, has time, plumps. Now he's being pushed out of the pocket. Bill Stansfill, another sack for Bill Stansfill. That's his 3rd on the year, and as I mentioned in the pregame show, the key to this game could well be in the matchup of Stanfill and then Herder against Hagan and Foley.
Joe Ferguson was trying to go to number 27, Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad was being covered by Foley very well. He was not open. He was trying to go to then 34, Jim Braxton coming out of the backfield, but the linebackers were there, and in his looking around, he was dumped by Ben Herder.
3rd down and 18 to go. The ball just inside midfield. And the Bills have been sacked for the first time this afternoon.
Dan Herder's been doing a lot of sacking, Eddie, but let's credit Stanfill with that one, okay?
Sorry, I thought somebody said Ben Herder.
They sound alike. Baxter step to the left. Wide receivers are out. The tight end to the right is Ferguson from midfield. Drop straight back. Does he have time? The rush is on. He's being pushed out of the pocket again. And he's going to be knocked down by Bill Stanfill. Now, he was trying to screen Jim Braxton and the right side and the center of the Buffalo Bills line over on the right side of the field. But Braxton never got into the pattern. Every time one of the defensive linemen of the Miami Dolphins spelled it out, either knocked Braxton down or tackled him. But Ferguson was left standing back there with not a receiver to throw to. Rick, who's getting beat there by Bill Stanfill? Dave Foley. He put a real good outside rush on him. Foley told me that Stanfill is the premier defensive end in the league. He's the toughest. Bateman at a 25. Jake Scott is the deepest of three receivers. Bateman's punt is going to be fielded by Scott at the 19-yard line. Coming running to his right, has an alley, the 25 to the 30, 35, and net and dragged down at the 38-yard line by Marv Bateman. If Marv Bateman doesn't hit him, I don't know who would have.
Well, Ted Coy is down in the field. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, but they had a tremendous wall set up, and if it wasn't for Bateman, he could have gone all the way.
Down out of the field with 13:46 to play in the second period. No score, Miami and Buffalo.
Let's check the scoreboard now. Games underway, Detroit and New York, and a high-scoring affair thus far. Detroit with a touchdown and a field goal to the Giants' field goal. They lead 10-3. That is in the first period of play. The Lions 10 and the Giants 3. In the first period at Atlanta, no score between the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Colts. Let's see, anything else we have on the board? Pittsburgh leading Cleveland now after a pass from Hanratty to Shanklin. It's Cleveland trailing Pittsburgh in the first period by a score of 7-3. That's all we have right now on the AFRTS NFL scoreboard. Let's compare the two passers now, Bob Greasy and Joe Ferguson of Buffalo. Greasy for Miami this year, 188 attempts, 113 completions. And Ferguson has tried 168 passes. He's completed 93. Very close.
It was Ted Coy dinged on that punt return and being escorted, not helped, but escorted across the field. What does it look like?
Well, it looks as though he might have hurt his shoulder or got the wind knocked out of him, but that's what you have to do when you're playing those special teams. You realize you're going to get hit somewhere along the line, and you just got to play with reckless abandon. He was going down there just hell-bent for leather trying to make that tackle, not aware of anybody coming after him. He got hit from the side and got blindsided, never saw the block coming, but that's a tough ball for him. He'll be back in the ball.
Let's see how the adjustment is made now, because Don Shula is very aware that the Bills are running the 30 defense. 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. Bo Cornell coming in there in place of Costa. The down linemen are Podolsky with Kadish and Edwards. And they put in an extra linebacker, as was done last week by Houston, and as we saw twice with the New England Patriots. And you know what happened? The Bills played it so much on defense in preparation for the game, they thought they might as well try it. Benny Malone, Larry Zonka, split behind Bob Greasy at his own 38, no score, second period. Greasy to Malone, running to his left, cuts inside over the 40 to the 41, and they stack him up there. Kadish, Allen, and James, all there to meet him. They're going to spot it at the 41, a gain of 3 yards for Benny Malone.
Well, credit Bobby James with forcing that to the inside. Malone was going to break that to the outside, but James came flying up, and also Neil Stern was over there in the tackle.
Does that look like a 42-yard line to you? Well, that's what they just announced, and the ball is right on the 41, but that's all right. If Benny needs an extra yard, he can have it. From a high formation, it's Malone, the I-back behind Zonka. From the 41, second down and about 7 to go. Greasy. Malone running now to his left, and he just gets nowhere as he hit at the line of scrimmage by Jim Chayunsky.
Well, that's what happens when you have that extra linebacker in there. He was at that time, it wasn't Jim, I think it was number 9, Doug Allen. You got that extra linebacker in there in the pursuit, just can't pick him up, and he was wide open to make the tackle that time. So they've got about a 3rd and 7 or 8. He likes to go in this situation to his tight end, which would be Mandich for Fleming. And he's got the Buffalo Bills have put Jeff Hughes in there instead of number 71, Mike Kadish.
Big play, a 3rd and 6. The ball right marching on the Miami 42-yard line. Kick is the back. Back to pass, Greasy. Looks left, looks right, has time. Throws a deep one down the near sideline. It's trying to get for Fleming and knocked down by number 42, Neil Craig. Take that Mandich, number 88. Mandich at about the 25-yard line, and Neil just stepped right in front of him and knocked it down with both hands.
Now that's the play that won the ballgame for him against the San Diego Chargers. I think they sent Mandich deep down the sideline. He was deep down the sideline that time, but it was broken up beautifully. They like to go to Mandich in that situation.
They will punt. Seipel near his 30, and the Bills have Donnie Walker at the 10 with Neil Craig 10 yards ahead of him. So another punt this time for the Miami Dolphins. They make that Bill Cahill. This is Neil Craig, it's Cahill. There's the snap. Rushes on. Seipel gets an end-over-end kick. It's going to be going across the way. Hits on the 20. Bouncing toward the 10. Fielded on with one hand by Walker as he runs laterally to his left and gets maybe 2 yards to the 12. That could have been a hairy play as the ball end-over-end bounced at the 20. Fielded by Donnie Walker with one hand, was able to gather it in and get 2 yards to the 12. Now, it was hit by Hubert Ginn.
That was one of those wacky bounces. I think he did about the only thing he could. Just try to stop that football. That ball possibly could have rolled dead before it went into the end zone. He just got the football and got as much out of it as he could. He got about maybe 2 or 3 yards in the return.
And now the Bills, as far back as they've had to start their plays so far, they started at the 27, the 47, the 19, and the 38. Now they're at the 12. They're on 12, moving from right to left. 12 minutes to go. Second period, no score. Ferguson with a very long count. Takes it, hands off to O.J. running right. Puts inside and gets to the 15. I thought sure that Hecky was going to get called for delay of the game. Bonacani made the stop.
Well, you're seeing two superlative defensive teams playing some pretty good football here. The Buffalo Bills just can't seem to get on track running the football. He tried to run an off-tackle play, picked up about maybe 2, possibly 3 yards on the play. They've been running between the tackles on most of their offensive runs. You might see Joe on third and the short yardage go to a play-action pass, as they mentioned earlier, to hold up those linebackers.
Second down and 7. The ball at the Bill 15-yard line as Rashad comes to the left and J.D. Hill to the right. The backs divided. 11:23 and running in the second period. No score. Ferguson, play action. No, a draw play to Braxton, and he trips at the 15 and maybe gets a little ahead of that to about the 17. We'll give him 2 yards. Mike Colin tackles him. Bob Matheson helping out, and it's 2 yards, so it'll be third down and 5 to go at the Bill 17.
Most of the time in this situation, Ferguson has elected to throw to the backs coming out of the backfield, hooking up underneath the linebackers who are dropping back into their deep zone pattern.
So unless the Bills can do some business here, they'll have to call on Marv Bateman one more time, and which turned out to be a kicking duel between Seipel and Bateman. Simpson set to the left. Braxton behind Ferguson from the 17-yard line.
Moore ran a quick slant pattern, was wide open in the seam of that zone. Greasy nonchalantly hit him for the first down.
Well, the ball is inside the 10, so it'll be first and goal at the 9.5-yard line. Howard Swilly just came into the ball game for Paul Warfield. Swilly is in there. No, Nat Moore just came out of the ball game. So Swilly's in for Moore with Paul Warfield. And Dave Costa has come in for the Bills, and Doug Allen has gone out. From an I formation at the 9.5-yard line. Both ends tight, wing right. Greasy, quick pitch running to the near side. Sending him along to the 4-yard line. Dave Washington and Jim Chayunsky hit him there. Second down and goal at the 4.
Now you've got to like the way that Penny Malone runs. He challenged Kadish, Washington, and Chayunsky on that play, and he took a pretty good shot. But he's going back to the huddle.
Why do the Bills always dig holes for themselves when they play the Dolphins? They cough up the football, they get intercepted. Only against the Dolphins. They do it continuously, whether they're playing in Buffalo or they're playing in Miami. There just seems to be something playing against the Miami Dolphin defense. Swilly is to the right, Warfield to the left. The backs are split, Saka and Malone from the 4-yard line. Greasy's back to pass, throws it over the middle, intercepted by the Bills. Field play comes out and dragged down at the 10. No, he isn't. He's free at the 10. To the 15, takes it back over the 20, 25, he goes to 30, 35, 40, down the far sideline. He may go all the way, all the way, all the way, and into the end zone, 102 or 3 or 4 or 5 yards. That's either Tony Green or Neil Craig. I didn't get the number. It's Tony Green, but there's a flag down at the field. They say he might have stepped out of bounds or what? There's a flag in the end zone. They're going to call a hold against Buffalo. Do you believe that? Rick and Al, if you'll recall the first game against the Bills at this stadium, Greasy got down within the 10-yard line. He elected to throw to Jim Mandich. That's what he was trying to do that time. He was trying to throw to the tight end Mandich over the middle. Tony Green alertly intercepted that ball, decided to run it out, and ran it out 103 yards, which looked like it was a certain touchdown. Nobody could catch him, but all of a sudden, lo and behold, there is a yellow penalty flag right underneath the orange V where it says Orange Bowl. Can you believe that? A very dejected Buffalo Bills unit on the sideline. Boy, I looked all over for that flag as he was running down the field, and I swear I didn't see it. But it was dropped. It was there all the time.
You think somebody could have picked that up, put it in their pocket or something?
What a shame. Tony Green going at least 105 yards with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a heck of an effort on the part of the Buffalo Bills. He had guys chasing him, not only the Miami Dolphins, but Buffalo Bills trying to catch up to Miami Dolphins to knock him down so that they wouldn't catch up to Tony Green running 103 yards for a touchdown.
So instead of a 7-0 lead, it's the Dolphins with a first and goal at the 2. That's the team. Malone and Zaka with both ends tight. Seifel is a tight end here, the punter. Zaka running to a back touchdown. What a
onside break for the Buffalo Bills, of course, a good one, and as Zonka finally went over for Miami, a holding penalty with a run back of the interception. One source says 103, 105 yards. Anyway, over a 100-yard run, which has been close to a record for interception and a touchdown, if it maybe was a record, but it was eliminated or nullified by the holding penalty against Buffalo. In NBA basketball on Saturday, starters Jim McMillan and Ernie D were out with injuries, but Bob McAdoo took up the slack as the Buffalo Braves beat the Kansas City Omaha Kings 101-96. McAdoo scored 29 points, grabbed off 19 rebounds. Elsewhere, the New York Knicks topped Seattle 104-94. Atlanta slaughtered New Orleans 130-104. The Boston Celtics whipped Washington 124-109. Houston 118, Detroit 98. Cleveland beat Milwaukee 92-89. I'll give you other scores later.
8 minutes and 16 seconds remaining as the Dolphins go 35 yards on a 25-yard pass play. And a holding penalty on the Buffalo Bills, and Zonka went in from the 2-yard line to make it 6-0 on the conversion.
Now it's imperative that the Buffalo Bills maintain their composure at this point in the ballgame. They could have been ahead 7-0, but for a holding penalty, they've got to realize that they've been playing a very tough, hard-fought game so far against the Miami Dolphins. And they've got to, as we mentioned earlier in the game, play errorless football. Just cut down on those mistakes.
Here's the kickoff. Wallace Krantz is waiting somewhere about the 9 or 10. Takes it at the 11th feet up the middle of the field to the 20, to the 25. Gets it back to the 30. Looking for running room. Spins and turns and gets to the 35-yard line where the Bills will put it in play. First and 10 to go from there. Trailing now by a score of 7-0. And as they come off the stack, the hit was made by Jarvis White again, the rookie from Hawaii.
Well, let's see what the Buffalo Bills do on offense. They've elected to run the ball, and they've been running between the offensive tackles, and they haven't been doing a successful job of it.
Nose of the ball just over the 35-yard line as the Bills break the huddle, moving right to left. Time 8:03, second period. Split backfield, Braxton and Simpson. O.J. coughed up the football the last time he carried it. Play action, rolling right. Ferguson throws it over the middle. Seymour has it in midfield and falls down at the 45-yard line, making the 44, where he was hit by Jake Scott.
That time it was a semi-roll by quarterback Joe Ferguson. He rolled out to his right, faking to the running back O.J. Simpson. He had pretty good pass protection. He had number 87, Paul Seymour, cutting across the middle. Paul was wide open that time, caught the football, knocked down.
3 first downs, and Joe Ferguson's numbers look a little better. He's, 3 for 5 now? Yeah, he's 3 out of 5 for a total of 41 yards. Bills have it first down, their third first down. Dolphins have 3, one by penalty. Split backfield. Ferguson using rollouts now. Play action again, rolling right. Looks again over the middle. A deep one for Rashad. Can't get it. 20. He overthrew Rashad with Curtis Johnson riding right on his back. And time for the station to identify themselves on the Bills Football Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
SCN Canal Zone.
Zone.
The linebackers are flowing outside a lot, then you try to come back inside, and you just try to do what they're not doing and try to catch them off guard all they can.
Bill set it, 7-11, still to play second period. It's second down at 10 at the Dolphin 44. Ferguson drops straight back, has some time, throws a quick one. It's in and out of the hands of the 30-yard line of Ahmad Rashad. Nick Montacani might have gotten a hand in there to knock it away from him.
Yeah, he had Ahmad Rashad on the left side of the formation. He was running a square-in pattern. Montacani dropping back to his zone drop was right there where the pass was thrown. It would have been a tough catch, but I think he could have held on to it.
Still feel the air out of the balloon, Rick?
Yep.
Boy, I tell you, you don't find too many 103, 4, or 5-yard run backs of interceptions, and it'll never go into the record book. But there's a 14-point turnover in this game. 7 that the Bills would have had, and 7 that the Dolphins eventually got. That's a big swing in a game like this. 7:05 left. Clock stops with each incomplete pass. Second period, 7-0 Miami. Third down at 10 at the Miami 44-yard line. To Bill Ferguson, a quick one to the near sideline, complete at the 38-yard line, but not enough for a first down. Complete over there to J.D. Hill. We paused just a little bit on plays that go to the far side because we're that far away to read numbers from here. But they say the 39-yard line, only 5 yards on that pickup. 6 out of 8 for Fergie, but Bateman will come in to punt the football and hopefully get out of the bounds somewhere inside the 10. Jake Scott going back, along with Dick Anderson and Charlie Bass. Bateman will be at the Bills' ball around midfield when he finally puts his foot into the ball. Up around the 10-yard line will be Jake Scott. Kicking to the far sideline. There's a beautiful high spiral going where? Where? Oh. Where do they mark it? They mark it at the 1-yard line. Beautiful spot. What a great spot. Of course, he knocked it out of the right into the stands, as a matter of fact. Into the alleyway out there where, wait a minute. Hold the phone. Now what are they going to call it now? No, they said no. They're calling it at the 20. Oh. Timeout on the field. Score Dolphins 7, Bills nothing.
Continuing our look, in case you missed some of the NBA games played on Saturday night, Houston down Detroit 118-98. Cleveland shaved Milwaukee 92-89. Philadelphia triumphed over Golden State 106-102, and the Portland Trail Blazers beat Los Angeles 112-99. In only ABA action, San Antonio downed Indiana 112-109. In the National Hockey League, quite a bit of action. Boston 7, Buffalo 5. Pittsburgh slaughtered Washington 8-1. They've only won one game this year, the expansion team. Montreal 4, New York Rangers 4 tie. Vancouver beat Toronto 5-2. St. Louis 5, Philadelphia 3. Minnesota beat Kansas City 3-1. Detroit 5, New York Islanders 3. Chicago Blackhawks 2, Los Angeles 1. In the WHA, Quebec 4, Michigan 3, Phoenix 6, New England 3, and Houston 6, the Chicago Cougars 2.
Well, gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills can do nothing right, and the Miami Dolphins nothing wrong, as the judge on that side of the field marked it on the 1-yard line. He indicated with his foot. He waved timeout. He said the 1-yard line, but he was overruled and comes out to the 20. Zonka and Malone the back behind Greasy at the 20-yard line. Greasy hands off to Malone, straight up the middle, gets 2 or 3 yards to the 23. Benny Malone, Patowski, Kadish, and Edwards, the down backs, along with Alan Chayonsky and Washington as the linebackers, and Costian now they're shouldering the 34. All right, they're shouldering the 30 defense. They give him the ball to the 23-yard line. Either I read that official, the back judge over there, wrong, or no, you read him the way everybody else read him, and all of a sudden they brought it out to the 20-yard line. Well, the field judge caught him on one and the back judge on another. Now it's a double wing with the eye back, the only eye back behind Bob Greasy. Malone, handoff, coming to the near side, off the wing, Zonka, nothing, maybe a yard.
That was an inside reverse off the wing. Neil Krieg's got his work cut out for him if they go to Mandich. Neil, how do you cover the tight end?
You know, I just want to take a given position off of him. If I playing tough inside, real close inside, that'll keep him from breaking inside on me. I'll force him outside, and more than likely he doesn't like outside pattern. If you like inside stuff, outside stuff, I'll try to get outside of him and just hold my position.
They like to go to a man it's going to be tough because he does have the option of breaking his pattern to go for the open zone.
There was no gain on that play as Zonka hobbled out and kicked us in there with Benny Malone split behind Bob Greasy, who sends his receivers wide. On a 3rd down and 7, back to pass. Greasy has time, looks, goes right over the middle, and it's knocked down or dropped at the 40, either one or the other by Nat Moore. Ike Harrison was over there. Now, whether
Mike got a hand on it or not, or whether it was dropped. It's an incomplete forward pass. That'll be 2 out of 6 for Bob Greasy, and the punter will come in, Larry Seipel. Donnie Walker back to the Bill 25, with Bill Cahill up around the 40-yard line to receive it. It's a 7-0 game. 3 first downs for both teams. Time remaining 5:19 of the second period at the Orange Bowl. The snap. Seipel strides into the ball. Up near midfield. Fielded by Cahill on the run. Hit at the 44 and knocked down right there in his tracks by Larry Ball.
Now you've got to commend Cahill for making that catch. That's one of the toughest things to do back there as a punt returner. He caught that on the dead run. He realized he was going to get hit. He got hit dead in his tracks by number 51, Larry Ball. I'm surprised he didn't fumble that football.
Well, the Bills have been able to do it defensively. And the Miami Dolphins, who are living right this afternoon, hang on to a 7-0 lead, and the Bills have it at the Miami 44-yard line. They break the huddle with Rashad coming out to the left and to the right, J.D. Hill. It's still Braxton and Simpson behind Ferguson. Make it 1st and 10 in the second period. Ferguson, a straight drop. Hooks, has time. No, he doesn't. Recovered near midfield. He was hit as he tried to let the ball go by Larry Ball, and the Bills immediately pounced on the football, and they have it at their own 49-yard line. Reggie McKenzie and Mike Mondler both go for that football.
Now, Joe is trying to hit number 87, the tight end, Paul Seymour, deep. Paul was lined up on the offensive left side of the formation. He ran a deep corner pattern, but he had Anderson back there, and Jake Scott Anderson was trying to pick him up deep. Joe was just waiting for Seymour to get open. He just didn't have enough time to throw the football. He got hit, fumbled, but it was recovered by the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills.
Look, I got to be perfectly honest with you. He may not have had enough time because he took so much time, but he's getting enough time.
He's getting enough time.
He just isn't able to spot his receivers fast enough or to unload fast enough. From midfield on a 2nd down and 15. That 53 defense is in there. Fergie now rolling left against the throw, gets a good block. Look, now he's being tackled. Still standstill. Now that time Ferguson dropped back, rolled out to his left, and it was a good thing he did because they had blitzed Matheson on the right side. Matheson was picked up. He rolled out to his left. Good block by number 34, Braxton, on the outside linebacker, but Ferguson just could not find an open receiver. Some of the receivers stopped dead in their tracks. In that situation, you were taught to come back to the quarterback, come back to the football. They didn't do it.
That's 4 sacks now against the Buffalo Bills for a total yardage of 34 yards lost attempting to pass. And the Dolphins are just laying the wood to the Bills when they need the big yardage, when they get around that midfield stripe. Boy, it's go the other way, guys.
3rd and 24. Whatever happened to the screen pass, the draw play, the swing pass? He takes a deep drop and looks to go with the bomb every time, and he has nowhere near enough time to do it. Now a delay of the game coming. It'll be 3rd down and 29 to go.
Al, I'm sure he's a little upset right now, maybe a little confused. I think the best thing to do, rather than throw that ball up for grabs, maybe run a running play or use that draw play to O.J. Simpson, but I certainly wouldn't throw the football in this situation. He's just not having a good day right now throwing the football, and I wouldn't chance putting it up for an interception.
I don't know if you can say he's not having a good day throwing it.
If he can't throw it, he's not having a good day throwing it.
You know, he's been sacked 4 times, and that isn't necessarily his fault.
But in all fairness, you can't take forever back there against any football team. The 3rd and 29 from the Bill 37-yard line. Inside handoff, O.J. running right, cuts inside, gets to the 40. 3 yards for O.J., and the punting team comes in.
Well, I think that was a good call in that situation.
Yes, it was.
He could have done.
Bob Matheson made the hit, and so the punting team and Mark Bateman comes in. And a standing ovation for the defensive unit of the Miami Dolphins.
Now they certainly deserve one that time. The Buffalo Bills had the ball inside their territory. They were driven back to their own 39-yard line.
Jake Scott with help from Dick Anderson and Charlie Babb somewhere near the 20-yard line. Bateman in his own 25. Last time, Marv got a beautiful spiral into the stand. This time, another high spiral, driving way back. Scott fields it, takes it into the end zone. He comes out to the 5. He's going to be knocked down and knocked out of bounds, or will he? He escapes the tackle at the 10 and gets knocked out of bounds at the 13. A bad move by Jake Scott.
Now, you're absolutely correct. That was a terrible move by number 13, Jake Scott. He was on his 10-yard line. You're caught back there. If that ball is going over your head, deep over your head, just let it go out of bounds in the end zone. The ball comes out to the 20. He dropped back, caught that ball about 2 yards in the end zone. They elected to run it out and got it out to about, about the 13-yard line. So he lost about 7 yards on that play.
55-yard punt. The last two by Bateman have been superlative punts. Well, I don't think Spike is smiling anymore.
No, you
All right. 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the second period. The Dolphins 7 and the Bills nothing. With an I formation of Larry Zonka and Benny Malone. Marv Greasy with a long count. Play action. Drops back to the 5. Look. Throws it deep into the far corner. And Warfield has it at the 30-yard line. And then dropped it. It was Neil Craig on the coverage. 2 out of 7 in the passing department for Bob Greasy.
Now they gave 28 White Harrison some help that time with Neil Craig. Warfield took it to the inside, made an excellent post move, then broke it to the outside, to the sideline. He caught the football, but then dropped it. The White Harrison is out of the ballgame right now. He seems to be limping a little bit, so now they move Tony Green over to Harrison's spot and bring in number 26, Donnie Walker, and put him at the free safety spot.
And Yates also in for Kadish. On a 2nd and 10, and Greasy wanted to go for it from his own 13. Sets the team, inside end up full alone, with a hole up the middle track. Tacklers over the 20 to the 22 or 3-yard line, where Donnie Walker had to make the tackle. It looks like it's going to be about a yard short of a first down. And we're going to come up to the 2-minute warning shortly. He went from the 13 to about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9. Which brings up third down at about a yard to go.
Now the Dolphins haven't had any success running off tacklers to the outside. They've been coming back to their strength up the middle where they have Wagner, Kuchenberg, and Larry Little.
Nat Moore is the wide receiver. Mark Fleming is the tight end. Howard Twilley is in there. 2 tight ends. And the 2-minute warning just now. Okay. We'll regroup in a moment, but there's a time out of the field with the score. Miami 7, Buffalo nothing.
Oh, the quarterback sneak, Jim Hart has scored a touchdown for St. Louis. Bakken's kick was true, and in the first period, St. Louis leads Philadelphia now 7-0, and that is now at the end of one period. So at the end of one quarter, the Cards lead the Eagles by a score of 7-0. 32-yard field goal by Garella of Pittsburgh. They're now up to 10-3 lead over the Cleveland Browns midway in the second quarter. The Cleveland, Cockroft has kicked a 35-yard field goal for the Browns. The score now is Pittsburgh 10 and Cleveland 6. 23-yard run by Stanback of Atlanta, and the Falcons now lead Baltimore in the second period. Score there is 7-3. Let's check other scores now. Nothing yet on the New York Jets-New England ball game. First quarter score at the end of one period. Detroit Lions lead the New York Giants by a score of 10-3.
With 2 minutes to go to the half, the Bills down 7-0. And the Dolphins have it at their own 22.5-yard line. Third down and about a half yard to go for the first down. The Dolphins have exactly 3 first downs, 1 by penalty. The Bills have only 3. The Bills have caught the ball up 3 times, recovering 2, but the one that they lost eventually ended up in a score. Both ends tight. Wing right, back set to the left. Short yardage. Zock is usually the man. Now the handoff to the man coming to the near side is Malone. He does get the first down as he turned the corner and got to the 25, and that should be enough with Neil Craig making the tackle.
Nice play. I think the Buffalo Bills were counting on Zonka carrying the football as we were, Al. He ended off to Benny Malone. He followed number 66, Larry Little, pulling to the right. Bob James came up to make the tackle. Larry Little kicked him out. Benny Malone cut up inside for the first down.
Well, Lou Saban is using all kinds of people on his defensive unit. He's got
Dave Means in there. He's got Jeff Yates in there now, too, with Kadish and Patulski sitting on the bench, taking a breather.
Donnie Walker going one-on-one with Warfield to the left. Bobby James and Nat Moore to the right. Well, let's see what happens. Back to pass is Greasy. Throws it quick out. A screen pass to Zonka. Zonka got nailed by a nice tackle. Actually, a rolling blocking tackle by Donnie Walker at the 28-yard line. Is that Ike Harrison back in there? That's Ike, number 28. Well, you can't read an 8 from a 6 from where we are. I don't want to cop out, but it's almost impossible to tell those numbers from where we are. So Ike's back into the ball game.
And the Dolphins have called
The Dolphins have called
timeout.
a timeout. With a minute 8 to go, we'll be back in a moment. The score, Miami 7-0.
Here's some results of golf play in New Zealand. U.S. golfer Tom Kite has won the Auckland Golf Classic with a record 72-hole score of 268 Sunday. That is 16 under par. Kite fired a 67 in the closing round and won by 7 strokes. His nearest rival was Australian Stuart Genn. In Oslo, Norway, California's Jeff Borowak has beaten Carl Meiler of West Germany in the title match of the Oslo Open Tennis Tournament. Borowak defeated Meiler in straight sets to take the top prize of $5,000. The 23-year-old Californian, who has played convincingly throughout the entire tournament, used his good serve and brilliant passing shot. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Gorilla has kicked a field goal, and now with about 2 minutes to go at Cleveland, the score there is now the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the Cleveland Browns by a score of 13-6.
The Dolphins have spent one of their timeouts. They have 2 remaining. There's 1:08 left in the half, leading 7-0. It'll be second down and 7 to go. The ball at the Miami 28-yard line. Play action, a fumble. Greasy picks it up, and that ball's not it back near the 23-yard line. Yates was in there, but motion before the snap of the ball by Benny Malone, the back. Greasy lost the handle when he dropped back, and that would have been a fumble. Was a rule to fumble.
Yes, it was.
Okay, back at the 24-yard line.
How come when they fumble, the Bills don't recover?
That's a fumble and recovery.
Oh, they've got that third down and about 10.5 yards for the first down. They might like to go to Mandich again. The Bills, one of their favorite receivers in that situation.
The Bills have called a timeout.
So let's see what we're going to do as Greasy comes over to talk to Don Shula. Now, recapping what happened just quickly, if you've joined us, the Dolphins scored once after they recovered an O.J. Simpson fumble at the 35, got down to the 10 on the first play on a 25-yard pass, but then throwing it what turned out to be a holding penalty, but for the moment looked like it might have been a Tony Green 103, 4 or 5-yard touchdown run back of an interception that was called back. The ball moved to the 2 where Zonka took it in, and that's been the only score. And that's really been the only threat of the ball game, if you want to look at it, by either team. Both have tried field goals and missed them from distance.
Both are playing excellent defensive football. A lot of people might consider it a dull kind of a game, but if you really look at the defense and watch what's going on, I think it's as exciting a game as one where points are scored. This is excellent football as far as I'm concerned by 2 excellent teams.
It certainly is, Rick. And Joe Ferguson trying to spot some receivers. Those guys are so well covered. I admire him for not throwing the football because you just have to eat it and take your losses rather than risk the interception.
Zonka just came out, and I believe Jim Kick is in there with Benny Malone right now, is it?
Right.
Kick and Malone. Split behind Greasy at the 24-yard line. He's got one more time out to use, third down and 11 as he goes straight back to pass. He looks, he throws one over the middle, it is complete. Robert James makes the tackle. 36 seconds remaining. Do they call another timeout?
Yes, I think they did.
Boy, Tony Green came awfully close to swiping that one, and he was cutting across in free safety position and just didn't miss getting there.
I'll tell you, that was a beautifully run pass pattern by number 89, Nat Moore, and it was just a beautiful pass by Greasy. Moore ran down deep and did a deep square, and he caught the ball actually among 3 defenders, Washington, Tony Tony Green and Bob James, I don't know how he ever caught it or how Greasy ever threw it in between all those defenders, but he did. They had the first down. I was looking for Mandich on that play. What Mandich did, he had a roll block trying to cut down the linebacker to prevent him from putting his hands up to try to disrupt the throwing of Greasy.
They picked up this Nat Moore out of Florida. He's only a rookie, and he has, really come in there.
Yeah.
He was a third-round choice, 5'9.5" and 180, and those little guys are really doing a number in the NFL this year, aren't they?
They sure are, and I think you ought to spell his name G-N-A-T, the way he runs around out there.
That'd be a good idea. The little Canat. Well, they've lost all their timeouts. They've just spent their third one.
Canat is spelled with a K, not with a G.
It's Canat, like dogs, Canat,
Well, how about the tight end for the Bills, Ruben Canat? 36 seconds to go. Dolphins leading 7-0. They have the ball just inside midfield in Bill territory. And they're going to try and get it as close as they can for you-know-who to kick a field goal. As Jim Kick goes off to the left, and Benny Malone comes right, split behind Greasy, sets the team and drops straight back to pass. Look, has a lot of time, goes for the home run ball to Warfield, and he catches it! The extra point makes it 14-0, and the Bills are going to see their lead in the Eastern Division go glimmering in just about an hour from now. Because the way they've been playing, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to score against them, and now 2 touchdowns down just may have been enough to kill them. The Dolphins have been sacking the quarterback and have been taking advantage of the Bills. Lapses momentarily, and there, Neil Craig beaten on a deep pattern by Paul Warfield for 49 yards when everyone in America knew that he was going to go for the distance.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be beating on a deep post pattern when you got a free safety back there trying to take away that deep post. But he had so much time to throw that football, and he ran such a great move. He took it to the outside and just faked everybody, and that's how he got that extra time to get behind Neil. And he was only about a step away from Craig. Craig almost had an interception and knocked it down, but that's all he needed, and it was a beautifully thrown pass by Greasy.
Here comes your Premier kicking the ball. It's a squibber rolling along ground and being picked up by a lineman and handed back to the running back. In this case, Chandler. Chandler's at the 40-yard line. It was picked up by number 61, Willie Parker. He immediately shoveled it back to Bobby Chandler.
Wallace Francis.
Wallace Francis. All right, sorry about that. I thought it was on 81. And it's at the 40-yard line. So with 20 seconds to go and 3 timeouts to use, the Buffalo Bills at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. They ought to be able to get a few plays off. Rashad to the left and J.D. Hill to the right. Double coverage on the wide receivers. The 53 defense, and Ferguson calls the signal as he goes straight back to pass. Look, throws a quick out. It's complete to O.J. near midfield, and he's going to run it out of bounds. He does. Inside Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Escorted by Mike Poland.
That's what Joe had to do. He threw to O.J. coming out of the backfield. He hooked up underneath his own coverage, caught the football, went out of bounds, ran towards the sideline. Number 40, J.D. came back and made a tremendous block on number 51, Larry Ball, freeing O.J. up for the first down. But O.J. got out of bounds, stopped the clock with 12 seconds left in the ball game, or in the first half.
It might be in the ball game. You might be right there. 14-0 with 12 seconds to go, and the Bills bring it out, having connected on their, I believe, 4th first down. That's the way you read it? Mm-hmm. 12 seconds to go. Ferguson again, dropping straight back. Has some time. Now he's running with the ball. He's going to run it. but he's going to run it out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Escorted again by Coleman. Stops the clock with 4 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was a smart move by Ferguson. He was trying to get O.J. out of the backfield, but they blitzed the linebacker. O.J. had to pick up the blitzing man. Ferguson was trying to go deep, but nobody was open, so he wisely ran out of bounds. And as he was running out of bounds, he was being chased by number 57, Mike Cullen. Cullen could have given him a pretty good shot, but he just elected to push him out of bounds. All of a sudden, we've got number 3, John Leipold, coming in here, and he's going to try a field goal from 60 yards.
Well, 57, 58.
He can do it. He said if the conditions are good and he might have just a little wind behind him, they're going to give it a try.
From the 48, it will be a 58-yard field goal attempt. It might be the longest in the league this year if it goes. He was kicking them from about 50 yards in practice. Let's see. Snap, ball down, kick is a block partially. And that's going to be it for the half as the ball skips into the end zone. And we have come to the end of the first half of the Orange Bowl in Miami. With the score, Miami 14, Buffalo nothing.
Well, that's the way it is right now at the Orange Bowl. Before we take a break, let's check some other scores. First period now, St. Louis 7, Philadelphia nothing. In the second period, Pittsburgh leads Cleveland 13-6. Halftime score, Detroit 10. The New York Giants 6. Also at halftime, Baltimore leads Atlanta 10-7. Still nothing in on the Jets in New England. Just starting, Green Bay at Minnesota. San Francisco at Chicago. Cincinnati at Houston. Los Angeles at New Orleans. Starting later, Oakland at San Diego. Dallas at Washington. It's halftime at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, with a score Miami 14, Buffalo nothing. You're listening to professional football on the AFRTS Parade of Sports.
Period. It's a knuckler hitting at about the 10, bouncing and picked up by Netmore to the 10, the 15, and tripped up as he falls short of the 20-yard line. They'll mark it for play at about the 19.
Tackle made by number 89, Wallace Francis. He's the outside man. His responsibility is to come down and force it to the inside. He is never permitted to let that man get outside of him. He not only forced it to the inside, he made the tackle. A beautiful running tackle, which is tough to do in the open field like that.
Patelski, Kadish, and Edwards are the down linemen, and the linebackers are Allen, Cornell, Chayunsky, and Washington as they play the 30 defense. And the Dolphins come out with Benny Malone and Larry Zonka, set behind Bob Greasy at his own 20-yard line. Greasy to Malone, up the middle. Malone hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Now some quick halftime statistics for the Buffalo Bills. They had 4 first downs, the Miami Dolphins 7. Total net yards, Bills had 81, the Miami Dolphins 137. The Bills had 57 yards rushing, the Dolphins had 38 yards. The Bills had 24 yards passing, the Dolphins 99. Ferguson was 5 of 9. Greasy was 5 of 10. The leading rusher for the Bills was Simpson with 40 yards. Malone was the leading rusher for the Dolphins with 24.
Second down and 10 to go. The ball at the 20-yard line. Greasy sets the team, hands off on a sweep to the right by Malone, and he falls down behind the line of scrimmage. Dave Washington helped out, and Jim Chayunsky put the finishing touches on him. It'll be a loss back at about the 17-yard line.
Beautiful play by number 86, Dave Washington. He came in there and threw a crunching block. Well, actually, Zonka was trying to throw a crunching block on him, but he crunched Zonka that time, and Zonka leaves the ball game.
Yeah, and Malone tripped over Zonka. That's why he fell down. Well, the Dolphins have been a big play team. They took advantage of a Bill fumble, got a call by an official, and then took advantage of a lapse in the secondary with 26 seconds to go on a 49-yard bomb. Kicking Malone. We haven't seen too much of Mercury. He's the guy who usually does the dirt to the Bills. The ball at the 17-yard line. Third down at 23 to go. Or 13 to go. Rolling left, Greasy. Has time. Look, has a lot of time. Now he's being pushed out of the pocket, running right. And the Bills are in the chase. He's at the 15, the 20, and he tracks him. Let's go to the 20, and the ball fumbled out of bounds. Back at the 17-yard line. And it was number 77, Dave Means, and Dougie Allen that were over there to do a job, but I tell you, he looked to me like Frank Tarkenton more than Bob Greasy on that one.
He certainly did, Al. Back to receive the punt for the Bills is number 26, Don Walker. The short man is number 22, Cahill. Donnie, who was responsible for calling the fair catch back there?
Well, the short man was supposed to call. They said that he should have called. The coverage is too tight for you to handle the ball or whatever, but short man usually calls it.
So he's got Cahill short, and they'll be calling for it if it's a short punt.
Cycle at about his 2 when he gets the snap. There it is. The return is on. It's a high spiral going to about midfield. Fair catch at the 45 by Donnie Walker. And the Bills will have excellent field position as they put the ball in play. There's a timeout on the field. 13:01 to go. Third period. Score, Dolphin 14, the Bills nothing.
Couple of upsets in the making. In the first period, Houston leads Cincinnati by a score of 7-3 at halftime. New York Jets 14, New England Patriots 3. Let's check as promised some of the college games. First in the East, played on Saturday. Boston College 45, Syracuse nothing. Brown 10, Harvard 7. Dartmouth 21, Cornell 9. Delaware 31, Westchester 6. Holy Cross 10, Villanova 6. Lehigh 33, Bucknell 7. Massachusetts 27, New Hampshire 17, Pennsylvania 21, Columbia 3, Penn State 35, Ohio University 16, Rhode Island 14, Connecticut 13, Rutgers 6, Boston University nothing, Temple 35, West Virginia 21, Tufts 22, Rochester 21, a tie, Wagner 20, Fordham 13, Williams over Amherst 17-14, and Yale 19, Princeton 6. We'll check other areas later on.
Timeout, and the Bills try a dive play with the fullback Braxton, hit by Coleman after 2 yards. He's at the 47. So the Bills break the huddle. A second down and 8 to go at their own 47-yard line. Back set to the right. Trailing 14-0, early moments, third period at the Orange Bowl. Back to Pat Fergie. A quick out to the near side, far sideline. Caught by J.D. Houston at the 41-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. It was Foley and Scott, but an excellent reception and run by J.D. Hill.
Yeah, J.D. was on the right side of the formation. He ran down and did a sideline pattern. Number 57, Colin, went back out to the zone formation, or the zone drop back there. Number 25, Foley, dropped off deep against J.D. Hill. J.D. was open. He got the first down.
Rick, some scores, please.
In the third quarter, the Jets lead the Patriots 14-3. First quarter, Cincinnati 3, Houston nothing. We'll give you more in a moment.
Bills with a first down in Miami territory at the 42-yard line. Back set to the right. Ferguson hands off to Braxton. Braxton up the middle inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Hit by Hines and Stanfill.
Third quarter, Baltimore 10, Atlanta 7. Third quarter, Detroit 10, the New York Giants 6. In the third quarter, St. Louis hanging on to a 7-0 lead over the Philadelphia Eagles.
So far, the Jets would be an upset.
Pittsburgh leads Cleveland 10-6 in the second quarter. I neglected to give you that one.
Baltimore over Atlanta would be considered an upset, I suppose. Huh?
Yeah, I would think so.
Now the back set left is Hill comes left and Rashad right on a second down and 6. The ball at the Dolphin 38-yard line. Third period, 14-0 Dolphins. Hands off to the man up the middle. The man up the middle is Braxton. Braxton dives inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. It'll be third down and about a yard to go for the first down, hit by Denherter.
Well, the Dolphins are coming out in their 30 defense with the 4 linebackers, and every time that the Buffalo Bills elect to throw or running pass or run a play, they have one of the outside linebackers, specifically the O.J. side, blitz, and that forces O.J. to pick up that blitzing backer. They're just trying to tie him up so he doesn't get out of the backfield and get in the pass pattern.
Ruben Gant comes in, and that made 2 tight ends with just Rashad off to the right. Now with a third down and short, remember last week what Casarini did, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't think Joe...
No, I don't think so either, but I just wanted to remind you that he threw for a touchdown from 39 yards out. It's third down and about a yard to go. Hand off to O.J. O.J. gets the first down as he dives off a hole off the right tackle and gets about the 30-yard line with Bob Matheson hanging on. The Bills get a first down.
The reason they didn't throw the ball that time was because they had number 13, Jake Scott, playing about 15 yards deep along with number 25, Foley. So they were thinking about what pass training he did against last week also.
Well, first downs don't mean a great deal, but the Bills have 7 of them, and statistics are for losers, as any coach will tell you. But the Bills certainly have fairly good numbers here today, but unable to get on the board. With 9:23 and still running in the third period, down by 2 touchdowns, the Bills have a first and 10 at the 31 of the Dolphins. Back set to the right. Hand handoff. Braxton turning the corner on the right side. It's a 40, 35. Make it the 30, 25, 24-yard line. It's Foley that finally made the tackle, but an excellent run on a turn on a sweep to the right by the fullback, Jim Braxton.
Now an excellent run by Braxton and an excellent block by number 32, O.J. Simpson, on number 57, the outside linebacker, Mike Colin, which enabled Braxton to cut it to the outside.
Usually they run that play the other way around.
Right.
Well, the Patriots are making a comeback against the Jets. Third quarter now. It's the Jets 14, Patriots 10. Second down and 4 to go on the 24-yard line as Ferguson brings the team out. He needs a touchdown in this series. Field goals aren't going to do any good. Hand off to Braxton. Braxton driving off the right side to the 20-yard line. He'll be close to a first down. Vern Denherter tackling him. They're going to measure. I think he made it. But you can't tell with those guys on the field in the striped shirts today what they're going to do. Let them measure.
Well, the Buffalo Bills certainly have not abandoned their game plan. They haven't thrown the ball all over the place. They've stuck to their running attack. They're trying to get that thing going, so they might use some play-action passes and maybe get a couple touches off that.
They drag the sticks and make it by half a football. Rick? The Jews carry the ball 10 times now for 43 yards. Ferguson is 6 out of 10 for 68 yards. Braxton has now carried it 9 times for 31. Who have won 34 out of their last 36 at home, 28 in a row. Leading 14-0, and the Bills come out with a first down on the 21-yard line of Miami. Back step right, Rashad left, J.D. Hill to the right. They're doing it on the ground. Ferguson, misdirection play to O.J., who skips inside the 20 to about the 17. He faked to the fullback, gave it to O.J., coming on a counter to the left side. Vern Denherter tackled him, and they spotted
O.J. Simpson with those terrific quick feet of his. Started to the left. It looked as though it was going to go off tackle to the left side of the formation. All of a sudden he stopped, saw the opening up the middle, cut up the middle for about 2 or 3 yards.
You agree that a touchdown is imperative here?
Absolutely.
Agreed. So the Bills are not thinking field goal, they're thinking touchdown. J.D. Hill to the right, Rashad to the left. Rashad goes one-on-one with Curtis Johnson and Tim Foley over there on the other side with J.D. Hill. Play action, stopping the pass, looking, throwing it quick out and complete at the 2-yard line. O.J. Simpson taking about the 3-yard line.
Well, that time they were scared to death of Ahmad Rashad on the right side of the formation. They looked as though they were going to go man-to-man formation on defense, but they went into his zone. Rashad cleared it out by running a post pattern. He swung Simpson out of the backfield. Simpson got around number 57, Mike Colin. It was a mismatch. He got open. Ferguson threw the ball. He caught it on about the 4-yard line. First down, 4 yards to go for a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills. Get back in the ball game.
Now in the passing department for Joe Ferguson. That was a 15-yard pass completion. Yeah, he's now 7 out of 11 for 83 yards. And he brings his team out first and goal at the 3. Braxton and Simpson, both ends are tight. Ferguson, Braxton, no game. But it looks like there was motion by the defensive line before the snap of the ball. We'll wait. Yep, it's going to be half the distance against the Miami Dolphins for offside. First and goal at the 1.5-yard line.
Well, all of a sudden, the Buffalo Bills putting together a very, very nice drive. Miami Dolphins offside.
O.J. out and Larry Watkins in. So the big backfield of Watkins and Braxton will be in there as the offside was officially called against the Miami Dolphins, moving the ball to the 1.5-yard line. First and goal from there. The time 7:07 with the dropping of the flag, third period, and the Bills down 14-0. Braxton behind the quarterback. Watkins set to the right. Ferguson to Braxton, driving up the right side, spinning and turning to the inch line. He's in the end zone, but they're not going to give it to him in the end zone. They're going to give it to him, like you said, about the 1-inch line.
Good tough running by number 34, Jim Braxton. He was stacked up at the line of scrimmage on an off-tackle play. He just spun off to the right, fell down, almost landed in the end zone.
Brings up second down and an inch. 6:43 and running in the third period. The Bills who started this one on their own 45-yard line. An 11-yard pass and a 15-yard pass along the way. Have the ball now with second down and inches to go. Braxton and Watkins behind the quarterback, Joe Ferguson. Ferguson, quarterback sneak, dives in, touchdown! Good call by Joe Ferguson.
That was just a simple basic quarterback sneak. He got the football dove over his right guard into the end zone for the touchdown. Buffalo Bills back in the ball game.
12 plays, the Bills going 55 yards, and the time 6:16 left in the third period. It's now 14-6. But the way things have been going with extra points these days, don't take anything for granted. 2 field goal attempts have been blocked, by the way. Now, how many men on the field? As one of the Bills quickly gets off the field, he would have been, it's Mike Mottler. He does not center, by the way. From the 9, it'll be held. Ball, snap, kick. Good. And with 6:16 still to play, third period, the score rings up now. The Dolphins 14 and the Buffalo Bills 7.
Continuing our look at college football on Saturday as we move to the South. Number 1, Alabama, at least that's the way UPI picks them. AP picks Oklahoma. Alabama 28, Miami 7. That's Miami of Florida. Number 5, Auburn over Georgia. That was a score of 17-13. Number 8, Florida beaten by Kentucky. Elsewhere, it was Appalachian State 14, Richmond 13. Clemson 28, Virginia 9. The Citadel 24, Furman nothing. Davidson 28, Defiance 20. East Carolina 31, William and Mary 10. Georgia Tech 22, Navy nothing. Grambling 16, Norfolk State 10. Maryland 56, Duke 13. Mississippi State 7, Louisiana State University 6. North Carolina 56, Army 42. South Carolina 34, Wake Forest 21. Tennessee 29, Ole Miss 17. Vanderbilt 30, Tulane 22. VMI 31, Colgate 14. And Virginia Tech 56, Florida State 21.
Kickoff coming from the 35-yard line from right to left, and the Bills are on the board by virtue of a quarterback sneak from the half-yard line by Joe Ferguson, climaxing a 55-yard drive in 12 plays, and the Bills are on the board. Waiting at the goal line for the kickoff will be Nat Moore, number 89, and I believe that's Benny Malone, number 32. Will we double-check that?
I don't think it's 32. It looks like it's number 33.
Gilbert again, number 33? Okay. Boy, from here it could be anything. Ginn and Moore waiting. It's a squibber again. A knuckler's going to hit it. The 10 are going to be fielded at the 8. By Moore to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And Bolton's going to midfield. Johnny Walker was the guy that finally got a hand in there, and the Bills unable to live with success one more time. This is not the first time that it's happened to them, where they have got the touchdown to get back into a football game only to have the ball run back on them to near midfield. A 40-yard run back by Nat Moore, and the Bills, who had a golden opportunity to get really back into the ball game, now find themselves giving excellent field position to the Miami Dolphins. Shaka and Malone, the back set behind Gracie. Gracie back to pass. Looks, throws a deep sideline to the far side and overthrows Warfield. Up at about the Bill 40, 35-yard line. Harrison on the cover. Time for the stations to identify themselves on the Buffalo Bills Football Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
SCN, the Nail Zone.
Gentlemen, it looks like it's going to be a holding call, and it's going to be marked off to the 39.
Yeah, it's against the Miami Dolphins. I don't know who the guilty party was. I kind of wish they'd have saved that holding call for the actual Warfield.
They got first down and 20. 10 yards for holding this year. Larry Zonka and Benny Malone, the backs, the wide receivers, Paul Warfield, and Nat Moore with Jim Mandich, the tight end. Now they come with their slot formation to the right. with Paul Warfield and Nat Morby on him. Greasy, play action. Drops straight back, has time, looks, goes to deep sideline, and incomplete as he hit the defender in the back. The defender was Doug Allen going one-on-one with number 22 who's in the ballgame right now, Mercury Morris.
Now that was darn good coverage by number 59, Doug Allen, going on number 22, Mercury Morris. They tried to set up a situation where he would be man-to-man on 59. He was, but Allen was right with him step for step and had his back toward the ball. In fact, I think the ball hit him in the back.
Did hit him square in the back.
5 minutes, 53 seconds remaining, third period, 14-7 as Moore comes to the right, Warfield goes left. Second down from the 39-yard line, second on the 20. Greasy again, rolling right this time, looking downfield, he throws a quick out, and it's incomplete at the 45-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Robert James covering, and the intended receiver was number 88, the tight end, Jim Mandich.
That time the Bills blitzed number 30, Bo Cornell. Fortunately, Greasy rolled away from the blitz. He was trying to hit number 89, Nat Moore, but number 25, James, was all over him. Incomplete.
He also had Dave Washington in on the blitz, and if he hadn't thrown the ball when he did, I'm sure he'd have gotten sacked by Earl Edwards, because Earl Edwards was just about doing it.
Brings up third down and 20. Scoreboard says 19. I guess they must have gained a yard in the incomplete forward pass. From an I formation with Kick in there now. There's a draw play straight up the middle. Mercury over the 45 to the 47-yard line. That make that Benny Malone now is in the ball game. 32 and 22 are alternating. Jim Chayunsky, the middle linebacker, stopped him after he gained about 9 yards, and they still had a long way to go. So the punting team comes in with Walker and Cahill back to field it. From the 47-yard line, Seipel at his own 30. Donnie Walker in the sun near the 10-yard line. Time 5:14, 5:13 in running, third period. 14-7. The Dolphins leading. And boy, that last play of the second period really going to hurt. Here is the punt. High spiral, not particularly long. Going to be taken at the 20, crossed away by Donnie Walker, and he goes 2 more yards and thrown out of bounds. So the Bills will put it in play at their own 22-yard line. First and 10 to go. And let's see if they're going to call time here. If they do, we'll take it. Yes, time out of the field. 4:55 left in the third period. Dolphins 14 and the Buffalo Bills 7.
Let's look at our NFL scoreboard again. We'll check the college games again, section by section, what happened on Saturday a little bit later on. But in NFL action today, in the third period, Cleveland has scored a touchdown in the third period. They've tied Pittsburgh now at 13-all, midway in the third quarter. In the third period, New England picks up a touchdown. It's now New York Jets 14, New England Patriots 10. Halftime score we gave you earlier, Detroit leads the New York Giants 10-6. Also at halftime, Baltimore 10, Atlanta 7. In the second period, Green Bay 3, Minnesota nothing. In the second quarter, San Francisco leads Chicago 6-0. First period, Houston 7, Cincinnati 3, and also a first period score, New Orleans leading Los Angeles 3-0. 2 later starts, it'll start in about an hour from now. Oakland at San Diego, and Dallas is playing at Washington. And, of course, on Monday night, that game in Colorado, Kansas City at Denver.
One touchdown separating them, Rick, but I guess if you look at the numbers, the stats must say that the Bills certainly have an advantage in total yardage or in passing or in running, because the Dolphins really, with the exception of the 49-yard bomb to Warfield, haven't done that much.
Well, up to now, the Bills have 83 yards passing, 85 yards rushing, 42 yards rushing, 97 yards passing for the Dolphins.
Figure. Bills on their own 22, bring it out with a split backfield. OJ's back in there. And up, no, play action. Stop, look, Ferguson getting away from the tackle, goes it over the middle, and it's almost intercepted at the 40. And the overthrew J.D. Hill at the 35-yard line, and it was almost picked off by by either Jake Schott or by Dick Anderson, who both had a shot at it.
Well, Joe Ferguson came out. He rolled out to his right on a play-action fake to Braxton. He was trying to hit number 40, J.D. Hill, running a square-in pattern from the right side of the offensive formation. He did not think J.D. was open. He started to scramble. All of a sudden, he stopped, looked at J.D., threw to J.D. It was way overthrown, almost picked off by the Dolphins. The last drive that the Bills scored on featured the running of Jim Braxton, the blocking and pass catching of O.J. Simpson. Let's see if they stick with that or go to some passing.
They bring J.D. Hill to the left and send Rashad right. Has Ahmad caught anything today?
No.
Only got Tim Foley on him, and they're going one-on-one. They really have double coverage over there because they dropped the cornerback over. Inside handoff, O.J. trying to sweep right, cuts inside, gets to the 24-yard line. That's all, 2 yards. Third down and 8. As they try again the misdirection play and take O.J. and move him from left to right. And it was Bob Matheson, the linebacker on the left side, that made the hit.
Now, it's a good play to run, but it just took too long to develop. The Buffalo Bills offensive line was having a little trouble trying to sustain their blocks on the defensive lineman of Miami Dolphins. And O.J., by the time he got to the hole, they slid off the blocks of the offensive line and made the tackle.
Rashad left and Hill right. Now, the 53's in there looking for pass. Third down and 8 at the Buffalo 24. Ferguson backpedals, straight back, has some time, looks, throws a quick out. O.J. misses it at the 30. And that's what he did. O.J. missed it at the 30-yard line. Larry Ball covering, but O.J. is not one of the great receivers in all of pro football, as we well know. He has pure missed the football.
He caught 3 today.
I realize that, but he's got bad hands.
Well, he came out of the backfield. He was on number 51, Larry Ball. He had him beaten. Joe Ferguson threw the ball, but O.J. just couldn't hang on to it.
And so that brings the punter in, and Jake Scott back at about the 32-yard line of the Dolphins. The upbacks are Dick Anderson and Charlie Babb, and back there is 10. Bateman, low pass, but gets it. Has time and gets a beautiful high spiral. Going way back to the 20-yard line, Scott. Comes to the right and gets run down with a flag down at the 26-yard line. And we may have a clipping call against Charlie Babb. Wait a minute, we'll see. Clint Haselrig made the tackle. The flag went down, and what are they going to call? A clipping penalty has been called against the Miami Dolphins. And it was against Charlie Babb, and the ball will move from the 26, 15 yards downfield.
Alan Rick, that was just a superlative effort by the special team unit of the Buffalo Bills. A tremendous punt by Marv Bateman, a tremendous tackle by number 47, Clint Haselrig, and all of a sudden the Miami Dolphins have the ball on their own 13-yard line.
Rick, in the numbers, there Bateman, who had one very poor punt of 18 yards.
Well, since he had one of 45, another of 40, 39, 55, and 58 yards. Not bad.
It'll be Mercury Morris, the running back, with Larry Zunka now, as the play will start with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the third period from the Dolphins' 13-yard line, and they lead the game 14-7. The Bills indicating the last time they had the football prior to this punt, taking it from their 45, eventually putting it into the end zone at 12 plays on a drive that featured 2 passes. But they're still in this ball game if they don't give up the big play. Fumble or
That was the same situation in the first half, really. The fumble by O.J. Simpson led to the touchdown. The holding call that wiped out a Bills touchdown. That's what's killed the Bills. It's what hurt them last week against the Houston Oilers, in spite of the fact that they played very badly. They had ample opportunities to score, but didn't do it, and just handed over touchdowns to the Oilers. And you just can't do that. You can't do it against the Oilers. You certainly can't do it against the Miami Dolphins. In the second quarter, New Orleans leads Los Angeles. How about this one? 10-0. And it's Houston 7-3 over Cincinnati.
hello there. Morris and Zaka behind Greasy at the 13-yard line. They'll look at it. They want to try safety blitz. Morris on a sweep to the right. He turns the corner and run out of bounds. Go to the 20 at the 19. It was Allen that finally ran him out of bounds, but Mercury turned the corner and Podolski looked like it's down again.
No, that's Washington.
Oh, Washington.
Hold it.
Morris.
Even
Jonas is down on the sidelines, too. A 6-yard pickup, and Washington rolling around, and Mercury looks like he's got a problem down there. Yeah, he does, because he didn't hit any of that rug down there. He hit that along the track just before in front of the stands, and did he run into the stands? I don't know if he did or not.
I don't know whether he did or not, but Neil Craig came up to force it. He cut inside Neil Craig, and number 86, Dave Washington, was trying to make the tackle, but he got cut down. It looks as though he hurt his ankle. He's limping off the field. Once he got cut down, it enabled Morris to break upfield, and he ran out of bounds, and he got hurt running out of bounds.
Well, the Bills landed on the track. Bills have lost every linebacker that they've had except one this year, and that's Chayunsky, and they lost him for a little while in the first game in New England when he got disoriented.
They even lost Rick Lewis by trying to clear him through waivers, and he got picked up by the New York Jets.
Well, they've lost John Scorpan because he is out right already. That's it. But I'm saying with Washington, who's in there? Well, you've got Bo Cornell, you've got Alan Croker, and you've got Merv Croker. Second down and 4 at the Dolphin 19. Benny Malone back in there with Zanka. Long count, Bills almost jump outside. Yeah, they do. They do. Zanka with a big hole off the left side, gets to the 24-yard line, but a flag is down. Let's see what the call is going to be. You got a couple of flags down, so it might negate the play altogether if it goes against both. Offside Buffalo. That's no penalty against the Dolphins, so I'm sure the Dolphins will take the play. Well, the play gained 5, and the first down is made by a yard, and it's the same difference, so whatever happens, we're going to get the first down. But this way, Zonka gets credit for the 5 yards. The other way is by penalty. Offside. Buffalo is the call after they have the meeting of the striped shirts out there. Well, they do take the run. They really give the edge to the Dolphin runners down here, don't they? They make that extra yard every time. If the nose of the ball is anywhere near the other yard stretch. Now they run a double wing with just Malone in the back, and the slot is Warfield to the left. From the 24-yard line, a handoff to Malone, straight up the middle, head over the 30 to the 31-yard line on a draw. Well, the Dolphins are doing what the Bills did just a little bit ago. They're going to run right at Buffalo like the Bills did to the Dolphins, and that resulted in the touchdown. Of course, the Dolphins started this drive back at their own 13-yard line. There's 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And somebody else got dinged out there. Is it Malone? Where is he?
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot from number 30, Bo Cornell. Malone broke into the secondary, put his head down. Cornell put his head down. They met. Cornell came out with the better of it.
On the 31-yard line, second down and 4, 3 minutes and 18 seconds, still to play in the third period, and they're dragging him off one at a time.
What's that old story, whether the rock hits the pitcher or the pitcher hits the rock?
Make no difference, a hard play.
The pitcher gets the worst of it.
Malone 12 carries, 34 yards. Zonka 5 carries, 16 yards. Morris 4 carries, 12. Now Greasy brings the club out. Who's left? Kick and Zonka. That's all he's got left. That's the team. Well, he got a few more, maybe. Greasy hands off to Zonka, running to his right, and gets about 3 yards to the 34-yard line where Potolsky knocked him down. They spot the ball at the 34-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3. They do have Hubert Ginn, the running back from Florida A&M. They picked up from Baltimore along with Don Nottingham.
Jay Croker and 59, Doug Allen go out, and in come Costa and number 86, Dave Washington.
And Matt Moore goes out, and they bring 2 tight ends in. As it's third down and a yard to go, the ball at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. In the third period with 2:18 and running, and 14-7, Miami leading. Both ends tight, the wing to the left, Warfield. Greasy, play action, he's going to pass. Stop, looks, goes for the ball. Warfield is open. Warfield
against the Miami Dolphins and one against the Buffalo Bills. What happened on that play? The Buffalo Bills expecting the Miami Dolphins to go for the short yardage. Greasy drop back fake. He had Warfield isolated on number 28, Ike Harrison. He made a beautiful inside move and broke it to the corner. He was wide open. Greasy lofted it over Harris's head. Warfield caught it. Got dragged down out of bounds on about the 7-yard line.
Well, gentlemen, a 53-yard pass, a 49-yard pass, and the Bills have been burned on that 3rd and short 2 weeks in a row. Last week for 39 yards and a touchdown against Houston. And you'd think they'd be ready for it this time. With a minute 59 to go in the 3rd period, with a 1st and goal. At about the 8-yard line. A handoff on a run to the near side on a sweep by Morris. No, that's not Morris. That's is Morris Richter. He's back in there for Benny Malone. Neil Craig runs him out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Craig played that absolutely beautifully, exactly the way you're supposed to. Strong safety strings it out, and Mercury had absolutely no place to run except sideways.
You know, every once in a while it's awfully easy to say, those defensive backs aren't doing the job, but in that short yardage situation, one of those linebackers is supposed to take a shot at those outside receivers to hold them up at the line of scrimmage to give those guys a chance to adjust to it. Maybe that's what happened. They didn't chuck anybody at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal at the 6. Split backfield, both ends tight. Woolley, wing right. Inside end off. There goes Big Larry Zonka into the end zone. The 59-yard pass, and setting up another one with a fumble. It's now 20-7. The kick by Permian is good, and third of the field with a minute 48 to go in the 3rd period. Miami 21 and Buffalo 7, and we'll keep it right here. Well, you got to give these Miami Dolphins a lot of credit. The Bills had them beat in their own territory on the exchange. They were down at the 13-yard line with a 1st and 10, a long way from pay dirt, and they did what the Bills did. They ran it in for the score when they had to do it, when the Bills were back into this ball game, and now they're 14 points behind again. By no stretch are they out of it. Don't Stones, I hope we're not giving you that impression. But the Dolphins have been tough. The Bills have also been tough. 3 plays have done it for Buffalo. 2 long passes by Greasy, and as you pointed out, the 1 fumble. And the 3 plays have resulted in 21 points for the Dolphins. They lead at 21-7.
Greasy cannot have any mental lapses in this game. That play-action pass, I think what happened was one of the linebackers did not chuck that outside receiver. He got 5 scot-free, and he blew past Ike.
Here's Quiver kick, almost an onside kick. Now they're going to field it around there. The Bills, it's a loose ball. Somebody pick it up, and it is by Wallace Francis at about the 18-yard line. Everybody standing around looking at it, and that ball is a free ball once it goes 10 yards beyond the kicking point, which is the 35-yard line.
That was kind of a sidewinding spiral that hit and bounced, and it was taking a wacky bounce, and everybody tried to take a shot at it, but it bounced over the head of one of the men in the wedge, and then finally Wallace Francis just jumped on the football and downed it.
Paul Warfield, the premier receiver in the National Football League, has burned the Bills this afternoon. With a minute 40 to go in the 3rd period, now down again by 2 touchdowns. The Bills have it at their own 17, and the Dolphins from this point on are not going to go for any of that play action. They're going to blow in there. Watch and see. Ferguson, play action, rolls to the right. Looks, he got a man open. Now he spots him. It's J.D., but knocked out of midfield. And he had his tight end, Paul Seymour, 10 yards wide open down at the 40-yard line and missed him.
Well, he was trying to find Paul, but when he was looking at Paul hadn't made his final break into his pattern. He elected to go to number 40, J.D. Hill, but number 13, Jake Scott, just at the last moment came over, tipped the football. J.D. almost caught the football before it hit the ground, but he didn't. It was incomplete.
The ball wasn't really well thrown either, guys. It looked like a a wobbling duck up there. How he got at that distance is beyond me. O.J. is not in there, and I doubt if we'll see him the rest of the game because the Bills need points, and that means they need to pass and they need blocking. So it's now Watkins and Braxton, and everybody in America knows what the Bills are going to have to do. Or Calhoun make that instead of Watkins. Calhoun and Braxton. On the 17, second and 10. Third period, a minute 32. Again, back to pass. Ferguson. He's going to have to run for life, and he's thrown down. Fumbles the football. Recovered at the 9-yard line by who? By the Bills. Elmer Hagan came up with it again. That's the second fumble recovery for Hagan.
And Ferguson is hurt. He got hit from behind by number 84, Sample. He's down on the ground. Tough situation if Morangi has to come in because the Miami Dolphins know that the Buffalo Bills have to throw the football. Those guys on defense are just going to tee in. They're not concerned about that pass rush. The running game, so they're just going to blow in there.
For the first time this year in regular season play, we're about to see, I think, Gary Morangi, who put a hat on, goes over to talk to the coach. The Bills, who have been sacked time and time again. And this time Ferguson really got wrapped up by Stanfill. And he is on the deck. And he is hurting. He's hurting plenty. Braxton and Simpson are the running backs again. Well, I guess with Morangi in there, that's the way it's going to have to be.
Well, how would you like to be a rookie quarterback coming in playing against one of the top teams, if not the top team in professional football, the Miami Dolphins, in their home ground, the Orange Bowl, deep in your own territory, behind by 2 touchdowns.
I tell you, there's one guy who'd say, I'd love it. That's Gary Morangi.
Yeah, Ferguson looks like a leg. Being helped off, dragging a foot, an ankle or a knee.
The Bills in the last 3 football games have been torn apart physically. And now the severest of all, the quarterback is nailed. And he looks like it could be something serious. From the 9-yard line with still a whole period to go and a minute 2 seconds left in the third quarter, the Dolphins pouring it on the Bills now physically and on the scoreboard as Gary Morangi gets set, the rookie from Boston College. Had a great preseason. He hands off to O.J. on a delay to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Still keeps at his feet at the 25 to the 26-yard line. Still not a first down, but very close. Jake Scott finally makes the hit. Yeah, but it was a very important run because it's going to give Mark Bateman some room. 17 for O.J. But not the first down. It just helps the numbers. And the Bills with, well, there may not be one more play. There's 23 seconds remaining in the period, and the Bills will put in the punting team. Mark looking at the clock. Can it run down, or does he have to punt it one way or the other? Who's deep for the Miami Dolphins? Well, there's a low pass fumble, but Bateman gets it off. Nice high spiral with Jake Scott being driven back to about the 16-yard line. He takes a turn to the left. He's up down the side to the 30 and turned around and knocked down at the 33-yard line. It was Dick Anderson who gave him a block that swung him loose running to the left, and it was Larry Watkins that made the hit.
Well, you've got to credit Bateman with some superlative punting. Boy, he really boomed that one.
Final on the field as we come to the end of the third quarter with a score. The Dolphins 21 and the Buffalo Bills 7.
Here's some more of those college football scores in the Midwest. Number 2, Michigan pulverized Purdue 51-0. Number 3, Ohio State 35, Iowa 10. Number 4, Notre Dame 14, Pittsburgh 10. And number 6, Nebraska 35, Kansas State 7. Elsewhere, Bowling Green 38, Southern Mississippi 20, Dayton 14, Marshall 13, Illinois 17, Minnesota 14, Kent State 35, Toledo 14, Miami of Ohio 27, Cincinnati 7, Michigan State 19, Indiana 10, Missouri 10, Iowa State 7, Tulsa 52, Drake 14, and Wisconsin beat Northwestern by a score of 52-7. The Southwest, number 9, Texas A&M 37, Rice 7, Texas 81, TCU 16, NC State 35, Arizona State 14, Houston 13, Memphis State 10, and Baylor 17, Texas Tech 10.
They're giving scores now. We've given them to you before. The Giants are leading Detroit. The short ends are all on top at the moment. And this, except for the Orange Bowl, looks like it could be another day of the upset in the National Football League. But at the moment, this is the day of the injury. The Buffalo Bills, wait a second, what was that last score? 21-13 Jets over the Patriots. How about that? Well, I guess the Patriots and Bills in those two weekends, the one in Buffalo and 2 weeks later in New England, might have played themselves right out of this whole thing by just beating up on each other. I'm looking at Joe Ferguson. He's over on the bench. He's got his right leg up, sort of straddling it. The right leg up on the bench. He's got an ice pack on his right knee. So it's not an ankle, it's the knee. As we begin the fourth period of play, the Dolphins come out with Nat Moore wide to the left. Warfield inside of him. Warfield has just killed the Bills this afternoon. A double wing and a single back. The single back is Benny Malone. Greasy hands off to Malone. Now to sweep to the right, it's Morris to the 38-yard line.
Knocked down by Walter Patulski. Wall a little upset he hit him, but he finally went down about 2 yards from the spot where Wall hit him. Now kick goes into the backfield for number 22, Mercury Morris.
A yard pickup on the play, second down and 9. The ball at the Dolphins 38-yard line. Leading now 21-7. Greasy sets the club. Drops straight back to pass, going for Warfield, who was wide open at the 42. Shoots the man who took an elbow for Mike Harrison, but no call. And he's out of bounds for the first down at the 43-yard line. Not a first down, sorry about that.
Well, he was on the sideline with Ike Harrison. He went down and faked the square to the inside. He went to the outside, caught the pass. Ike went up and threw a forearm at him, really tried to tear his head off. He missed him, and they went out of bounds, and the Dolphins got a little upset with Ike on that play.
Boy, Shula's more than a little upset. He's really screaming. Well, I must admit, folks, from where I saw it, it was a cheap shot. That's what it was, and they didn't call it. Well, he missed one. He missed him. Yeah, right. The ball at the 43-yard line. Third down and about 4 to go. Slot is Warfield to the right. Beyond him, Moore. Bill's almost offside. No flag. Back to pass, Greasy. There was a flag. Incomplete up near midfield. The intended receiver was to Jim Kick. Washington was on the coverage, but the Bills are offside. And it will be enough for a first down.
That time he had kick coming out of the backfield. He was on number 59, Doug Allen. He faked to the inside, then broke it to the outside. He was open, but then Washington came over and put the finishing touches on him. But the Buffalo Bills, offsides in the play.
Well, that's a critical offside play right there, because that gave them a first down instead of a third down situation with long yardage, and it keeps the drive going, and the clock is ticking off, and the Bills got to get the ball, and it doesn't look good. Scott Hunter may get himself a job here pretty soon. He's not in there. Moranti is, but Scott has the experience, and if Berge can't go the rest of the year, they may just have to go with experience and hope for the best. The season is coming apart at the seams in the last 2 weekends. From the 48-yard line, first and 10, a misdirection.
Mercury missed it. It's picked up by Washington. Washington chased by Greasy. Washington's got to go all the way. Touchdown! No flag on the play.
I don't see one, but let's wait a minute. No flag.
No flag. Fumble picked up by Dave Washington. And Greasy started going after Washington, but number 42, Neil Craig, who was on the left side of Washington, neatly slowed down and then went to his right side to prevent Greasy from coming over trying to make the tackle, but no way would Greasy have caught up to number 86, Dave Washington.
I don't have the exact yardage on it. It looks like about 43 or 44 yards where it was picked up at about the 42 or 3 yard line, but that's academic. It's on the board. A fumble and run, which you can do, of course, in pro football. Pick it up and run with it. Here's the extra point try with 13:58 to go in the game. It's now 21-13. The snap, the ball down, the kick up. It's now 21-14. We'll be back in a moment from the Orange Bowl with 13:58 to go. The Dolphins 21, the Bills 14.
Let's finish up the rundown on college football from Saturday. We left one game out in the Southwest last time around. Arkansas, the Razorbacks beat SMU, tied there. Arkansas 24, Mustangs at SMU also 24. In the West, number 7 USC beat Washington and beat them well, 42-11. Elsewhere, Stanford 17, Oregon nothing. UCLA 33, Oregon State 14. Utah State 34, Utah nothing. California 37. Washington State 33, Boise State 56, Montana 42. Air Force beat the Arizona beat the Air Force Academy 27-24. That's college football on Saturday. In the NFL, some upsets in the making. In the second period, Green Bay with a couple of field goals by Marco lead Minnesota 6-0. In the second period, San Francisco leads Chicago 13-0. They were a slight favorite, the 49ers were. Houston in the first period leads Cincinnati 7-3. In the second period, New Orleans upsetting Los Angeles 10-0.
Dan Leipold will kick from the 35, and it'll be Hubert Skin, number 33, and number 89, Nat Moore, up near the 4 or 5 yard line. And now the question is, who is going to quarterback once the Bills get the football, if they can hold the Dolphins here from running it back. The last time the Bills scored, it was run back to the 49-yard line.
Could it be somebody up there like this?
Well, they couldn't have, because they dropped the flag in the end zone. It could have been a 105-yard run back. There's a high end over end going to the far side, taking it the 8 on the run by Nat Moore to the 20, 25, skips it in at the 30 and back down to the 35 or 6. Wallace Francis makes the hit. And it's at the 36-yard line. Well, the Dolphins have it first and 10, and the score 21-14 with still 13:47 to go. But now Ferguson on the bench will not play today, and see if the Bills can hold Zucker and Kicker in there at the back. From the 36-yard line, a handoff to Zucker straight up the middle to the 39-yard line. Kayunski wrapped him up 3 yards on the play. Zucker's certainly not the runner we've seen here in previous years, and he's limping, going back to the huddle, having a problem.
One of the great traits of the offensive linemen for the Miami Dolphins is the fact that they are great finesse blockers. They take great position on their defensive opponents and are able to move them around with not a whole deal of power.
Ed Nolman comes in a guard for Bob Kutzenberg. Or just went out, Kutzenberg went in. All right, and we have Don Nottingham, the bowling ball in there at the fullback with Jim Kick. From the 39-yard line, back to Pat Treese. Looks right, throws it over the middle. It's picked up at the 20, fumble, and picked up by the Buffalo Bills. Washington again at the 40. And he goes down at the 41-yard line. Nat Moore had it, got hit, lost it, and the Bills have it again. So Nat Moore running a post pattern. It was a beautifully thrown ball by number 12, Bob Greasy. He caught the ball in the dead run, but I think it was either Neil Craig or Washington that made the hit on him, just jarred the ball loose. Washington picked the football up. All of a sudden, the Buffalo Bills have the football on their own 44-yard line. Well, about that, it's a mistake. The fumbles are costing the Dolphins right now. Let's see if the Bills can capitalize. Robert James has put the hurt on Nat Moore that time. Gary Morangi, the rookie quarterback, sets the team at his own 44-yard line. What a spot. Braxton and Simpson back into the running back. Handoff, Braxton with a hole off the right side of midfield. Back tacklers to the 44-yard line of the Dolphins. It was Anderson hanging on, and Braxton dragged him for a first down. Now that's just the way they started on their earlier drive, the one which they scored the touchdown. They featured the running of Jim Braxton and the blocking and pass catching of O.J. Simpson. Let's see if they go back to that on this drive. They've got the ball in Miami territory on Miami's 44-yard line. First and 10 with 12:27 left in the game. The Dolphins 21, the Bills 14. Rashad to the right, J.D. Hill to the left. Gary Morangi called upon to do the job this afternoon. First pro action in the regular season. Long count. Morangi lost the football, falls on it. The Bills have it at the line of scrimmage. I was afraid afraid of something like that, gentlemen?
Well, every once in a while that's going to happen when you get a new quarterback in there on the sidelines in the last couple of drives. When he wasn't in the ballgame, he was in there taking snaps from Martler. You just have to stay in there, hold your ground, don't let anything bother you, keep your poise. He is a kid who is noted for his cool, and I hope he can come through with it today because the pressure is certainly on Gary Morangi.
He's an excellent rollout quarterback. He has good speed, throws well on the run, which you may have to do here. It's 2nd down and 10. That's a fumble and recovery. Still a long way to go in the 4th period. 21-14 Miami. The Bills have it at the Miami 44-yard line. Morangi, play action, rolls to his right. Look, going for the bomb. J.D. Hill is open. He catches it. Touchdown! I can't believe it! Touchdown to the play. Woohoo! What a play. Morangi faking to his back. He had J.D. J.D. was looking over his right shoulder. Morangi threw it to his left. A beautiful over-the-head diving catch by number 40, J.D. Hill, landing in the end zone. I can't believe it. What a catch by J.D. What a pass by Gary Morangi. J.D. just would not be denied. He went after that baby and went into the end zone with it. And Morangi, like you had called it just then, Al, you said he rolls out very well and can throw on the run, and boy, he did. Here is the all-important point after. It's up and it is good, and we got a tie game. 11-10 left in the ball game. Dave Washington picking up fumbles and Gary Morangi throwing touchdown passes. An incredible football game. And the lonely figure across the way on the Bills bench, Joe Ferguson, with ice on his knee.
And don't worry, this game is not going to end in a tie. If it isn't a tie at the end of regulation play, they do go into an overtime.
We'll be back in a moment.
Let's check some other scores now. O's has gone 1 yard for a touchdown, and Baltimore upsetting Atlanta, a slight upset anyway. In the 4th period, Baltimore 17, Atlanta 7. Colts have only won 1 game thus far in the basement of the AFC East, while Atlanta not doing much better. They have a new coach. Norm Van Brocklin fired a couple of weeks ago. Atlanta in the NFC West, 2 wins and 7 losses. 2 losers meeting at Atlanta. Elsewhere, New Orleans still upsetting the Rams, still in the 2nd period. That's all we have right now. That score, 10-0. The Saints lead the Rams. Still nothing more at Houston after one period of play. Houston leads Cincinnati 7-3. San Francisco has scored again. They lead in the 2nd period over Chicago 20-0. As we mentioned earlier, Green Bay in the 2nd period leads Minnesota. That's an upset, 6-0. Giants at Detroit still have a 3rd period score. The Giants 13, Detroit 10. 3rd period, Jets 21, New England 13.
Gilbert Gann and Nat Moore awaiting a kickoff by John Leipold in a 21-21 game with 11-10 yet to play. High end over end going into the end zone, 3 yards, fielded by Gann. He's going to bring it out to the 10, the 15, and knocked down at the 19-yard line by Wallace Francis, who runs them back from one side and knocks them down from the other. And now in a tie ball game from the 19-yard line, it's going to be John Nottingham because Knock is injured and Jim Kick.
Al, and you don't think that pass thrown by Gary Morangi and that catch by J.D. Hill didn't inspire that defense. They've got to go out there. They've got to play inspired football. They've got to hold this Miami Dolphins offense.
Still running the 34 defense and Greasy with Nottingham and Kick. Bill's going to blitz. They don't usually. He hands off to Nottingham, trying to run left, gets a yard.
Now the Bills can afford to play it tight as far as the inside plays are concerned. They realize with Nottingham and Kick in there, there's not that great speed or that great threat to the outside.
And that flag in the end zone.
Oh, boy, does it ever.
And bigger.
It'd be a 28-14 game. Oof, I don't even want to talk that way. It's 21-21. Let's go from there.
Paul Warfield is going to play with Ike Harrison one-on-one to the left, and Robert James is going to go with Nat Moore to the right. A split backfield from the 20, 2nd and 9. Greasy, a handoff to Kick. Kick trying the middle to the 25 to the 30-yard line. He may have a first down. Tony Green hanging on for dear life, but Jim Kick gets the first down. Well, the
the Buffalo Bills have to realize that with Chick and Nottingham in there, they've got to run from tackle to tackle. They've got to double the outside receivers with Nat Moore and Paul Warfield. That's going to leave those backs coming out of the backfield, the tight end.
This game is going around the world at 350 radio stations on the American Forces Radio Network, and we gave you a good one, folks. A double wing from the 34-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Greasy passes out of this one. He drops straight back, looking for Warfield. Now Schwartz, he's going to run with the football into the 40, midfield, and knocked down at the 45, rather, of the Miami Dolphins on a beautiful tackle by Dave Washington. Another first down. Greasy dropped back. He was trying to hit Chick coming out of the backfield, but Doug Allen was all over him. He rolled out to his right. There was literally nobody out there to pursue him. He started running with the football. Dave Washington waited until the last possible moment until he was sure that Greasy had passed the line of scrimmage, came up and labeled him. But Greasy, the pro that he is, got back up. Just talking to the coaching staff about this one last night, about what do you do with Greasy when he decides to scramble, because he usually scrambles up the middle. Dave means in for Walt Podolsky right now. From the 44, handoff to Nottingham, hit behind the line of scrimmage as he tried to go right. He'll lose about a yard or two on the play, back near the 43.
You got to believe both teams out there fighting for their professional lives. They realize the winner of this game could probably will go on to win the Eastern Division title.
Well, there's a quarterback over on the other side that makes me think I got to take back what I said earlier, that even though whatever happened to the Bills today, they might have to be without their number one quarterback the rest of the way. Costa's in for Edwards. On a 2nd down and 11, the ball at the 44 of the Dolphins. Greasy, backpedal, look, throws a quick out, it's complete at the 46-yard line to Mandich, but did he get labeled by Ike Harrison? Boom! That's a completed pass for all of 2 yards. And it's now 3rd down and 10, or 9 yards to go for the first down.
That time the Buffalo Bills and the 30 defense blitzed the linebacker, Washington. Greasy really had to get rid of that football. He elected to throw to Mandich. Mandich caught it, but just for a short gain.
Bruce Saban is doing something that we've passed over. He's moving the defensive linemen in and out of the game, giving them a rest. He just put Jeff Yates back into the game. Mike Kadish is out. He's got Means in there with Costa now.
It's hot down there.
Nottingham and Chick set behind Warfield. A big play at his own 46-yard line. 3rd down and 9 to go. In a 21-21 ball game in the 4th period at the Orange Bowl. Back to pass and rolling right. Looking, going for the home run ball, and it is.
But it was a poorly thrown pass to Nat Moore. James just overran him and ran into Moore. Neil Craig came behind James, intercepted the ball, but they called the Buffalo Bills for pass interference.
I can't understand that because I believe the interference happened after the interception. You know, all season long, the Miami Dolphins have been the luckiest team in pro football.
Well, they're being pretty lucky today.
And they've got another opportunity to do it again today. Because they are within field goal range, and there's still 6:34 left in the game, but that would have been a magnificently big play for the Bills. Warfield to the left. Nat Moore to the right. An I formation this time. They're going to eat up some clock and drive it a little bit. Nottingham and Chick the running backs. Greasy to Nottingham, driving up the middle, turns and spins to the 21. 2 yards. Well, the Bills were guilty of an infraction, and it was a legitimate call, but it could have been, it might have been, it should have been, it would have been.
Well, you look at Greasy and you wonder what he's doing throwing deep into double coverage, but he did have more behind Bob James, and it was a poorly thrown pass, and as we said, when Bob stopped, he couldn't see the ball. It was to his behind him, and he just ran into Nat Moore, and they called interference on it.
The Bills secondary, Rick, has been burned badly this afternoon. Badly. With pass interference and burned on long passes to Warfield at the 21-yard line. 2nd down and about 8 to go. Within field goal range, however. There's a draw play. The draw play to Chick. Chick loose at the 12-yard line and knocked down. Great call by Bob Greasy. Just a super call.
Well, the best thing the Buffalo Bills can hope for is to hold them to a field goal, have him kick it right away, get right back in the ball game, and have Morangi come in and throw another touchdown.
You got it all figured out, honey. You know, it's really too bad that penalties play as important a part in a game like this one. You sort of wanted to see a game just evenly played head-to-head and not have something like that figure so importantly in the outcome. Warfield to the left, Nat Moore to the right. From the I-backs, Nottingham and kick. The team is set. The Nottingham big hole. He's going to go for a touchdown. I just want to say there was a gaping hole to the right side of the Miami Dolphins offensive formation. Nottingham just went unmolested into the end zone. Well, gentlemen, it's been a weird football game. Point after will be attempted now by Yepremian with 5:01 remaining in the game. Kick is up and the kick is through. We now have a 28-21 ball game in favor of the Miami Dolphins, and we'll be back in a moment.
As we said earlier, a lot of upsets in the making. We have one already over, and it is an upset. Baltimore defeated Atlanta 17-7. Colts win at Atlanta over the Falcons 17-7. At the end of 3 periods, we still have nothing more from Detroit. The Lions trail the Giants 13-10. The Giants, of course, underdogs in that one. Third period, at the end of 3 periods, the Jets lead New England 21-13 from Miami. If the Jets continue to lead New England and win that game, and of course, if Miami wins this one, Miami picks up a full game on both the Patriots and the Bills in the AFC East. Third period, St. Louis continues to lead the Eagles, even though Philadelphia has a field goal on the board in the third period, 7-3. In the second period, Green Bay 6, Minnesota nothing. Halftime score, San Francisco 20, Chicago nothing. Halftime, Houston 7, Cincinnati 3. Halftime, New Orleans still leading Los Angeles. They lead the Rams now at intermission time, 10-0.
The Bills with 5:01 to play will be receiving. Wallace Francis back at the 5-yard line. And Rick wants to take a look at the films to see whether in that pass interference the interception was made before the contact was made on the down receiver who was out of bounds. It'll be interesting. There's the kick. It's going to bounce to the 15. Francis has it at the 7, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 29-yard line. Where he was finally hit by Jarrett White again. Third tackle by Jarrett White on a kickoff. And the Bills down by 7 with 4:50 left in the ball game, trailing 28-21 with Gary Morangi, who has just taken over here for the injured Joe Ferguson. Ferguson's knee. And it looks like it's a tough one because Joe has been sitting on the bench since he was hurt with ice on it, unable to move it. And Morangi had to take over and has already connected on a 56-yard touchdown pass to J.D. Hill. From the 29, will they blitz? They got the 53 in there, so they got double.
Well, he's got a running with the football, and he was carrying it outside like a loaf of bread, but he wisely tucked it in and just dove down to the ground instead of risking being hit and fumbling the football. Smart move by number 17 quarterback Gary Morangi.
Poland covered him. Morangi picked up about 8 yards. It'll be second down, a little over 2 to go for the first down. The time, 4:23 left in the ball game.
I'll tell you, I like what I see. That kid impresses me.
Well, they're going to have to stuff his head full all week before that game with Cleveland. Morangi, play action, a draw to O.J. O.J. hands it way back at the 34-yard line, going nowhere. The Larry Ball that came in there.
Well, that was sort of a semi-roll draw, but when they handed it off to O.J. Simpson, he was surrounded by a slew of linemen and linebackers. He had nowhere to go. Lost a couple yards in the play. Second down and 2 to third down and 6. He lost 4 on the play, and O.J. just has miserable afternoons in the Orange Bowl. And the fans are taunting him now, hollering juice. And if you don't think that's got him by the gut right now, you don't know O.J. Simpson. Back
behind the rookie Morangi. Third down and 6 from his own 33-yard line. Long count, backpedal. Look, has time, throws it, and it's complete at the 46-yard line to Rashad. It is a first down. Anderson on the coverage.
I'm sorry, Al, that time the Dolphins in the 30 defense, they blitzed the outside left linebacker, but the Bills picked it up that time. He just threw a curl in, deep curl into number 27, Ahmad Rashad, for the completion and the first down.
Some scores, Rick. In the fourth, Jets 21, Patriots 16, third. Houston 7, Cincinnati 3. You better hurry up a little. That clock is running. 2:38, 2:37 from their own 46, first and 10. Morangi to pass. Pops, look, throws it over the middle. Rashad misses it at the 35-yard line. The coverage, but Ahmad Rashad went down on his knees and lost the football. It could have been at the 35, but it wasn't. Second down and 10.
Now, once again, they blitzed Morangi. Morangi standing back there beautifully in the pocket, waited to the last moment. He pumped and stepped up into the pocket. He saw Rashad curling in through the ball. Rashad dropped it.
Bobby Chandler is in for Paul Seymour, which means the Bills will go with 3 wide receivers. J.D. Hill, Ahmad Rashad, and Bobby Chandler. Chandler comes out in a slot to the right side, and beyond him, Rashad. J.D. Hill along to the left, so that means there'll be double coverage on the near side. As Morangi calls the number, second and 10. From his own 46-yard line, trailing 28-21. Back to pass. Gets away from a tackler. He's going to run with the football. He's at midfield. He's at the 45. He's at the 40. And he's back down at the Miami 37-yard line. Well, I can't believe it. Morangi back there. He couldn't find anybody open. He got a lot of pressure from the left side. He stepped up into the pocket, elected to run with the football, did some fancy dancing out there, but he took a pretty good shot. He might have to go out of the ball game. 2 minutes left in the ball game with a score. The Dolphins 28 and the Bills 21.
Nothing further report as far as scores are concerned. Same scores we gave you a while ago with that one final. Baltimore winning over Atlanta 17-7. Looking ahead at next week, there's some key games coming up in the NFC. A big one will have Minnesota playing at Los Angeles. That should be a good one. Over in the AFC, some of the big games over there would have to be Buffalo at Cleveland. Cleveland could make it hard for the Bills. And interconference games, Dallas at Houston is a pretty good game there. But the Cowboys, of course, are looking right now to that game coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes at Washington. The Cowboys and the Redskins. Pittsburgh now has scored and is ahead of Cleveland in the fourth period. In the fourth period now, it's Pittsburgh 23, Cleveland 16. New England has a field goal in the fourth period. They still trail the Jets like they have all through the game, 21-16.
They're giving scores, and we have one final. The Jets are leading 21-16 over the Jets, or over the Patriots in the fourth period.
In the fourth quarter, the final score we have is Baltimore 17-7 over Atlanta.
Well, what the Bills need today at the moment is a touchdown, a loss for Cincinnati, and a loss for the Patriots.
And Morangi took a pretty good shot on the last play, walked over to the sidelines, and he had a little discussion with Lou Dave, and now he's okay. He's coming back into the ball game, and they had their discussion. They developed their strategy for the last 2 minutes, and let's see what they're going to do.
Well, gentlemen, 2 minutes with 3 timeouts to use, trailing by a touchdown on the ball on the Dolphins' 37-yard line.
Now a lot of pressure on number 40, Dick Anderson. He's the safety. He's going to cover an outside receiver by the name of Bob Chandler.
Chandler slotted to the right, Rashad off to the right with J.D. Hill to the left. Morangi from the 37. Drops straight back. Has time over the middle. Complete to Braxton at the 30. Taken the 31-yard line. Hit by Bonaconte. But it's about 6 or 7 yards where they spot it. It'll be second down. And let's see. They've got to get to the 27, so it's a 6-yard gain. Second down and 4. They wind it up without a huddle. 1:36 and running. Morangi from Boston College drops straight back, rolls, looks, throws it again over the middle, complete to Braxton. Braxton at the 23-yard line. First down. And do the Bills call time? swinging out of the backfield. A star is born in the Orange Bowl. From Boston College, Gary Morangi, who had to quarterback the Bills during that mess of preseason when the strike was on, and impressed us right from the first game in which he played in Canton, Ohio, which was the Hall of Fame game against the St. Louis Cardinals. And you liked his cool, and you liked the way he ran, you liked the way he rolled out, and you liked the way he handled himself. He had a lot of poise, a lot of confidence, and just enough cockiness for a rookie to make him interesting. And he is in here now trying to put the Bills on the board to tie it up with 1:22 left in the game, trailing 28-21. I can say no more.
What can you say as an encore? You just have to love that kid, Gary Morangi. He's come in under adverse circumstances. I mean adverse circumstances. The ball deep in his own territory. He comes in against one of the toughest teams, if not the toughest team in the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins, in their own home territory, the Orange Bowl. Now all of a sudden they're on the 23-yard line, driving in for what could be the tying score with 1:22 left in this ball game. Incredible.
They break the huddle. Again, the same formation. The slot to the right is Chandler with Rashad beyond him and Hill to the left. Now they got triple coverage on the wide receivers to the near side. They're covering the slot and the wide receivers. So Morangi drops straight back to pass. Looks, throws it over the middle, complete to Chandler. 3-yard line, 2-yard line. Oh, I can't believe it. He had Chandler running a post pattern. He was wide open. He hit Chandler. Chandler caught it in between Scott and number 40, Dick Anderson, fighting, trying desperately to get into the end zone, but he was brought down on about the 2 or 3 yard line. Incredible. 1:11 left in regulation time. I think we better start saying now. Do you think I ought to go down to the dressing room, you know? No, I'm going to wait just a little bit. I just told my producer, Tom Kronk, that I'm going to stay right here and fight the crowd. I tell you what, it's been very effective. That three receivers on the slot right with Chandler and Rashad and the Dolphins are not doing it, and then they swing the back underneath him.
Right.
They got covered.
Eddie, you smelled that out about 5 minutes ago when you mentioned that Chandler was in that slot and the difficulty that it would be for the Dolphins to cover on him, and sure enough, that's exactly what they did.
Rick, that's right. You're pitting a darn good safety, number 40, Dick Anderson, against a wide receiver. Now, Anderson's a tremendous, strong safety, but he's used to covering big tight ends. Now, all of a sudden, he's covering a guy like number 81, Bob Chandler, who's got great moves, great hands, and some darn good speed, and he's having his problems, and Morangi went to Chandler in that play, taking advantage of that definite mismatch. Smart call.
There's 1:11 left in the Orange Bowl. On the clock in the fourth period, the Dolphins leading 28-21, and the Bills have it first and goal at the 2-yard line. Watkins and Claxton are the backs. Morangi, the quarterback. Long count. Morangi going to roll with it and knocked out at the 5-yard line by Jake Scott. Good play by Scott. If Scott hadn't gotten him, he was home free. They called the timeout. Why don't they stop the clock? It says 101, but they called it at 103.
Well, Morangi faked a rollout, or faked off a handoff, and then he rolled out to his right, but Jake Scott smelled it out, was right in there, made the tackle. That's why Scott is an all-pro.
Timeouts remaining for the Bills. Did that do it, or they got one more left?
They've got one more.
That's their second timeout?
Mm-hmm.
And a field goal, of course, you all know by now, does not do any good. They've got to score a touchdown to tie this ball game.
There's a nervous leg over on the other side of the field, however, that if the score goes to 28-27, the extra point would then become very important. However, first things first for the Bills, who have the ball at the 5, second down at 5, with 1:01 left in the ball game. Rick, you might as well stay until the end of the game. We'll have a late locker room show, no matter how you look at it. Reuben Gant is the tight end now in place of Paul Seymour? No, he just went out. All right, 1:01 remaining. The Bills have another timeout to use. Chandler to the right, Hill to the left. Seymour is the tight end to the right. Watkins and Braxton from the 5, second and 5. Morangi drops straight back. Rolls, throws it. Touchdown, Chandler! Oh! Tremendous touchdown. He dropped take a couple extra yards back, John. 56 seconds remaining in the game. 28-27, the Dolphins, and there's overtime this year in the NFL. The snap, the ball out, the kick up, the kick is good! And we are going to be 46 seconds away from overtime. Gary Morenci, remember the name, folks.
Yes, there is a Santa Claus, there is an Easter Bunny, and there is a Gary Morenci, believe it or not.
How about these numbers? 6 out of 7 for 110 yards for Gary Morenci. And he's got 34 yards rushing to boot.
He hasn't played that. That's not the point. The point is the circumstances under which he got that critical yardage.
We mentioned that, Eddie, that this one guy, it doesn't really make a bit of difference to him. John Lightfoot tried to get up to 40, yeah. The referee would not let him do that. It doesn't make any difference who he's playing. Morenci has that kind of psyche. Identify yourself on the Bill Football Network. Hurry.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Gilbert again at the 5. High end over end kick going into the end zone. Again fielded at 2 yards in. He's going to bring it out to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. Spinned and knocked down at the 19-yard line by Wallace Francis. One more time.
Wallace is...
Go ahead, Rick. But Cornell gave him a real shot, too, while he was down there and spun him right around.
But credit Wallace Francis for getting the first hand on him, and he has just been tremendous on the special teams today. That's what you like to see.
4 tackles in a row. All right, gentlemen, there's 51 seconds remaining. How many timeouts left? I believe 3 for the Dolphins, right? Yep. Kick in Nottingham. I guess Knock is hurt and will not come in the rest of the day. Certainly has not seen action lately. As they send Warfield to the left. Worry about him. Fuller to the right. A split backfield at the 19. Greasy back to pass. Takes a deep drop. Goes for the home run ball to Warfield. Catches it. Warfield was on the left side of the offensive formation. He was working against number 28, Dwight Harrison, and 42, Neil Craig. They were in his own coverage. Harrison was up short, Craig back deep. Warfield got between them, ran an out pattern. Greasy waited and waited, had a lot of time to throw the football. Warfield went up, so did Neil Craig, so did Dwight Harrison, and Warfield came down with the football. A 31-yard pass reception, and Paul Warfield has done a number on the Buffalo Bills secondary that you could put on paper and play on a piano. It has just been magnificent. 4 passes for a total of 139 yards.
Ricky just can't afford to give a guy like Bob Greasy that much time.
In this league, and if anyone wants to argue with me, we'll have to go one-on-one. There isn't any better. I agree with you. You outweigh me. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm bigger, but maybe I don't outweigh you. Okay, 41 seconds remaining, and a tie game at the Orange Bowl, and this year you settle your ties with at least 1 overtime period. And we've had, what, 1 in the NFL this year? 2. 1 that was not decided. It went to a tie, Pittsburgh and Denver, I believe. And 1 that was decided with the Jets beating the Giants. From midfield, 1st and 10 with 41 seconds remaining. Greasy backpedals, looks, throws a quick out. It's complete at the 45, the 40, and out of bounds at the Buffalo 37-yard line to Jim Kick.
Well, they're going to use that bad kick coming out of the backfield. As we mentioned earlier, he's got that option to go inside or outside. He was on Bo Cornell, and you've got to give himself a room because he can burn you, and he cut to the outside. He was wide open. Greasy hit him. He was out of bounds. Now all of a sudden, the
35 seconds left with 3 timeouts to work with, and they are now almost within field goal range. I'd say that one more play, one more first down, and they'd have it locked. The Bills secondary is going to look at the films this week, and they're not going to believe what they see. From the Bills 37, there's a draw play, bumping into his own man, and Chip now runs for daylight at the the 35, the 30, the 25, and dragged out at the Buffalo 23-yard line. 24 seconds left, and a timeout called by New England. Chick ran into his own man, bounced off, and then ran for daylight to his left. Well, the Bills spelled the handoff, but they all bunched up to the inside. Chick ran into the crowd, spun off to the outside. There was literally nobody there. Started running out of bounds, kept inbounds as long as he could, got tackled. One of the Buffalo Bills kept him inbounds, but they called a timeout. 24 seconds left on the scoreboard. The Miami Dolphins 28, the Buffalo Bills 28. Unbelievable. And now what the Bills are going to have to hope for is some kind of a mess-up. He certainly isn't going to pass the football. A fumble or a blocked field goal attempt by Yepremian. And as I look at Garrow's numbers here somewhere, I had them, his accuracy should be pretty good. Let's see, 30, still inside 40 yards at the moment, and it could be better if they gain any more yardage.
Well, whatever it is, he's a pretty good time maker.
Yeah,
He's a pretty good tiebreaker if he gets a chance to kick a field goal.
We are in what is going to be, up to this point in the 10th week of the NFL season, the most interesting football game of the year by any team in the league.
Considering what's at stake,
Considering the Bills have lost their first-string quarterback, and a guy named Gary Morangi has led them to 2 touchdowns. From the Buffalo 23-yard line, with 24 seconds left to go, 2 timeouts still to use. Bob Greasy brings out Tom Nottingham and Jim Kick in the I formation. Long count. See if he doesn't get nailed now. When is he going to get nailed? There's a handoff. Oh, Nottingham! Broadway touchdown! The Dolphins have scored. The nail in. The kick is up and the kick is good, and it's 35-28. He must have checked off with that long count at the line of scrimmage. The only way I can look at it.
It looked as though
he saw blitz coming and called the draw.
I think he did, Al. I think he saw the blitz coming, and they had the Bills, coming in looking for that run or the pass. And it was just a hell of a call by Greasy.
There's 19 seconds left. Yepremian will kick off. The Bills, in losing the football game, lose first place and also their number 1 quarterback. At least so far, that's all we know about.
Hey, wait a minute. There's 19 seconds.
Well,
somehow Wallace Francis back there.
Somehow or other, lightning will not strike 3 times in a row. I doubt it. But Wallace is all alone at the 10, if in fact they're even going to kick it to him.
Yeah, it's a short kick.
At the 8, Wallace Francis to the 10. Running for daylight at the 20, the 25, the 30, and runs out of bounds across the way at the 33-yard line with Larry Ball chasing it.
Well, it was a smart kick by Yepremian, and he kicked it down the middle. He kicked it to Francis, realizing that Francis had to run out of bounds to stop the clock. Francis did. He used up about 7 seconds trying to get out of bounds. There are 12 seconds left in the scoreboard. The Miami Dolphins 35, the Buffalo Bills 28.
And that flag in the end zone, way back in the second period, is the one that turned this one around. 32 with 12 seconds to go, and I believe one timeout still to use. Young Gary Morangi, who's been just spectacular this afternoon, leading the Bills to 2 touchdowns after Ferguson was hurt. There's a deep drop. No one's going to rush him. He's got all day. Goes for the long bomb and out of bounds was J.D. Hill, who can't come back inbound, and the ball was thrown way over his head with 4 seconds remaining.
Well, J.D. was on the left side of the formation trying to go deep. They had number 57, Mike Colin, over there, and I think he bumped him out of bounds. And once an offensive receiver goes out of bounds, you cannot come back into the field of play legitimately. The Miami Dolphins have 3 defensive backs. They have Jake Scott, Anderson, and another defensive back. I can't really see his number from up here. I think it's number 45. It might be Stuckey. And they're just playing down on about the 30-yard line. They've Curtis Johnson. Just in case a pass is completed, he would have to get by those 3 defenders with 4 seconds left.
Last play of the ball game. Gary Morangi at his own 32 is going to wind up and just let it go. Here it goes. It's intercepted at the 45-yard line. Run back to the 40. Who's got it? Nick Monicani falls down, hucks the ball. The game is over. The final score, the Miami Dolphins 35, the Buffalo Bills.
This broadcast was authorized under rights granted by the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and the National Football League, intended solely for the entertainment of the AFRGS listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Bills, the Dolphins, and the NFL is prohibited.